Well, hello everyone. Surprise! It is me here, craving something scary, where it's all horror all the time. And I thought I would do a surprise impromptu live stream that's not scheduled for a normal week. I normally don't do a Tuesday night. You guys know I do Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Wednesday mornings. But today was not just a normal Tuesday. Heck no. Today was final trailer day for Halloween Ends. So it's worthy of a live stream. But don't worry, it's not going to be one of those marathon streams where we go for 5 hours. I'm probably going to be on here for about an hour. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the chat goes with you guys. And my guest, Knight from the Night Watch Zone, will be joining me in about 15 or 20 minutes. He'll be joining the stream as well. So that'll be a good time. But in the meantime, guys, we got the final trailer, and I'm very excited to hear what you guys think about it. And so lots to unpack. To be honest with you, I've seen it now I watched it a couple more times. I was on Night Watch Zone's channel earlier this evening, and we talked about it over there. I know some of you were there also. We talked for a little while, but I've watched it like twice since then, but I have not done a deep dive on it. In other words, I haven't slowed it down. I haven't gone frame by frame, done all that type of stuff yet. That's coming. So I will be doing a breakdown video for all of you. It'll probably be tomorrow, most likely. That's my goal. But I want to make sure and really spend some time with it. I don't want to rush it out just to get it out. I want to make sure that I really closely examine the trailer and break it down by frame. Really, just take it all in to make sure that whenever I do my video for you guys, it will be as thorough as possible. So that's coming. Now, in the meantime, though, I thought this would be fun to just kind of talk about how we feel about the trailer tonight and what's on our minds. Did it give us too much? Did it not give us enough? What is it about the trailer that we like or don't like, and how we feel about it? So we're going to dive into that in just a sec. First, I want to say hello to everybody. I see we've got Jason here. What is going on? Jason said, I just started watching 2018. Well, I hope you're having fun, man. Enjoy. It's a great movie. And Katie's here. What's going on, Katie? Lee the Nerd's coming in. Good to see you, Lee. Daniel Frank's in the house saying, I love me some Halloween. I do too. Nathan Mills in the house. What's up, Nathan? Eric from Bearded Entertainment. What's going on, man? Eric was with us last night, if you were here on the live stream. Eric stayed with us last night. He was part of the panel. Had a great time. Good to see you, buddy. Blackest Eyes. What's going on, Blackest Eyes? Lee says it's already 6 a.m., so probably will not be here long, but so far going strong. Lee, you are a soldier. I'm telling you. You are a soldier, my friend. Eric says, only 1 hour? I don't believe it. Eric, what, you think, if you didn't know any better, I'd think you've been a part of this channel for a very long time, and you know me. That's funny. You're probably right. Blackest Eye says, go for 6 hours. There you go. Oh, you guys. The General's in the house. What's up, Val? Thanks for coming in tonight. Always a pleasure, my friend. Hammering down the chat, keeping the chat under control. Love it. What's up, Kyle? What's going on, my man? Good to see you here tonight, too. And Extron says, hey, Craven, I was in I Like Scary stream. Yep, I know you. I actually invited Brandon to join me tonight. Didn't realize he was streaming it. And after I invited him, I saw that he was doing a stream an hour ago. I was like, oh, okay. If he gets done, he'll join us if he gets done later. And we're still going. But glad you're here, Extron. What's up, Jennifer? Jennifer says, hey, everyone, hopping on another stream. Yes, glad you're here. I decided why not? Had a great time with Knight earlier. We were talking about it on his channel. And I said, you know what? I should do it too. I should do it too. We should do it. Let's do it. So here we are, impromptu, unscheduled. I want to watch ends now. Same here. What's going on, Scott? Scott Royston in the house. Hey, how's it going? It's going great, Scott. Glad you're here. Just having a great time, saying hello to everybody, and enjoying this final trailer. And Danny's in the house. What's up, Danny? Good to see you. Scott says, nice to see your podcast. First time for me. Well, welcome, Scott. I'm so glad you are here, my friend. Welcome to the channel. We have a lot of fun. I stream like 3 times a week and do a lot of videos in between. So make yourself at home, Scott. I hope you have a great time. The community here is extremely welcome and warm. So guys, make sure to show Scott a lot of love in the chat tonight, as this is his very first time. Let's show him what it is to be hanging out with the Cravenites. All right, let's do that. Well, Scott, I'm glad you're here, my friend, and stick around. We're gonna be talking Halloween Ends trailer here. We're gonna get started. Eric says we love a good live stream. Well, thank you, Eric. Yes, indeed. Val, I don't know how you're doing it, man. My hats off to you, General. I still haven't watched the final trailer. Well, we're going to be talking a lot about it. I know you were on Knight's channel earlier, and you've heard a lot, and we're going to keep that conversation going, kind of a continuation of where we started. So it's really, honestly, I can tell you, I'll tell you right now, it's not a situation like Kills. It's really not. So if you haven't seen the trailer yet and you're here just to kind of listen, get an idea of what's going on maybe without actually seeing it with your eyes, I can tell you this, that it doesn't let the cat out of the bag. So yeah, it shows a lot of stuff, some of the stuff we've seen already from the TV spots and the first trailer, but it doesn't do what Kills did, because Kills let everything out of the bag, right? That final trailer, it just let it all out. We saw Michael coming out of the house, the whole firefighter scene. You guys remember a year ago this time how disappointed we were about that final trailer that Kills put out. But this is not the same. I really don't believe it's the same. I think it still leaves a lot of unanswered questions, which is what I was hoping for from this last trailer. I'm like, don't tell us everything, right? Don't show us everything. And I don't really believe it did. So again, everyone has their own, what I call threshold of information that you want to know. So we all draw lines at certain points where we're like, okay, I want to know, but I don't want to know more than right here, right? So ultimately, it's going to be up to you guys' personal thresholds as to whether or not you want to watch this final trailer or not. And I can only tell you my perspective and how I feel about it, but my threshold it could be different than yours, and it's very likely it is. So bear that in mind. But I will tell you, comparatively speaking to Kills, the trailer we got for Kills, if you compare what came out today for Ends to that Kills trailer, I really believe this is a much better trailer, a much better job of keeping us still in the dark. All right, they tease a lot of things, but we don't know the sequence of the movie, right? The events we see, we don't know the order or the sequence of them. And that's everything. A lot of times the sequence is the key. It's the key to unlocking the puzzle, because we can have all of these scenes and we can have all of these different images, but until we really know how they all fit together, we're always going to be uncertain of what we're actually seeing. Like shots filmed, like shots in reverse order. We're seeing something that we may just be sure is the opening and it's the end, or vice versa. So I think they did a good job at Paramount with this final trailer. They give us a little bit more, just a little bit more, sauce on top or whatever you want to call it. They give us a little bit more, but they did not give us so much that there's no, basically, like there's no surprises left. I still think we're going to have some surprises in this 2-hour film. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that for all of you guys out there who have not seen the trailer like Val. If you're holding back because you don't want to go through Halloween Kills experience again, I get that. But I don't think it is. So that is my advice and my 2 cents. But whatever you decide, it's the right decision. I respect it. But we'll talk a lot about it, and we'll fill you in on the highlights tonight. Daniel says, first time for me too. Well, welcome, Daniel. Got 2 first-timers, guys. So be sure you guys really give lots of love to Daniel tonight as well, and welcome him into the family here of the channel. And Daniel, I hope you won't be a stranger, my friend. I hope that you enjoy your time here, enjoy the videos that I'm posting, and will be a part of the community, because I like to think we're family. That's how I like to run this channel. I'm really about community. And so since you're new, just to let you know, one thing that I never wanted to be as a channel is someone that just creates videos and does a live stream and that's it. I truly like to have a community where it's about people first, and that's what this is here. So anyway, I think you'll feel that, and I hope that you feel that as you hang out and engage in the chat. Or if you don't even want to engage in the chat, that's fine too. As you just hang out and be a part of it, that's awesome. So I'm glad you're here. Danny, very good eye, Danny. Yes. I have more black and dark blue shirts than it's probably legally allowed in the state of Texas where I live. So it is my jam. I settled into what I like, and that's it. That's just what I like. That's what I'm doing. And Scott says, that's awesome, bro. Subscribing now. Thank you. Love anything Halloween. Absolutely. Well, this is the place to be. And Scott, after this live stream's over, go check out my some videos. You'll see a lot there. A lot of Halloween content. It is my second most favorite horror franchise in the world. And so my favorites are Scream and Halloween. And there will always be Halloween content on this channel. It's happening. It is happening. Eric says, I watched it. I was definitely wrong last night. They showed so much. They did show a lot. They did show, like I said earlier, they did show us a lot, but not as much as kills. Yep, there you go. Exactly. Not a lot, not as much as kills, but a lot. That's true. But I still feel like there's enough surprise element in play. What's going on, Eric from Smells Like Tina Horror? Welcome, man. Good to see you. Pittsburgh Nellie's in the house. What's going on? What's going on, Nellie? And guys, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. But if you've not yet hit that smashed, I can't even talk. If you've not yet smashed that thumbs up button, that's what I'm trying to say. Please do so now. It takes less than 2 seconds, and it would really help the stream. All right. As those likes go up, the YouTube algorithm gets happy and sends it out to more people so they can join us in talking about this trailer we're about to start here. So I would greatly appreciate that. It would be a big help to the channel and to the stream. Thank you, guys. All right. Anybody else? Let me make sure I got everybody else here before we get started. Let's see here. Jordy. What's going on, Jordy? Good to see you. Ernie Bird in the house. What's up? What's up, Ernie? All right. And Invert Mouse Games, welcome. So happy to see that final trailer. Yeah, it is out. Jordan Talk Films in the house. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you here, buddy. Just got home from school. Well, all right. You got home at just the right time. Time to talk us some Halloween. Outside the Nines in the house as well. Hey, everyone, just watching Halloween 3. Love it. Saw it 2 weeks ago as part of our Halloween Fest, and it's a good one. I enjoy it. Totally. What's up, Ron? Welcome to the stream. Glad you are here. I hope you're having a great day as well. Extron says, Craven, if I met you in person, I would ask for your autograph and treat you like a Hollywood celebrity and praise the ground you walk on. Oh, Extron, come on, man. No, no, no. No. I think you're being, you must be being sarcastic. Oh, gosh, Extron. Braun says, I pre-ordered my copy for Halloween 2018. Nice. Nice. Love it. Feel like I can't wait, man. I know, Jordan. Seriously. All right. Extron's adrenaline is pumping for ends. Same here. Same here. I'm very excited. And that's why, like, so far, I haven't gone into my content creator mindset. I'm still watching the trailer just as a fan, right? Just as a fan. And I'm watching it, taking it in at regular speed. You know, I haven't slowed it down. I haven't freeze framed it out, the new shots. I'm just watching it, taking it in, enjoying it. And then I will be turning into content creator mode tonight after the stream ends. I'll start working on it. And then tomorrow I'll finish it, where I am going to be going at quarter speed and every single frame and manipulating images, brightening them up, doing all that stuff that I do as a creator so that I can bring you guys what I believe to be the most authentic and truthful, version of what's on the screen, right? As best I can tell, anyway. So, Ron says, "How about you feel about the announcement about Ron Reynolds made by Hugh Jackson training for?" Ron, I haven't even heard that yet. I saw someone earlier talking about it, but I haven't actually heard what the actual quote is or anything. So, I'll have to look into that. But I think that's awesome. If it's true, it's great. Okay. Eric's asking if anyone bought their tickets today. I know a lot of people have also bought tickets. I've seen people I've even had some of you guys have been, excuse me, my throat's getting a little raspy. Some of you guys have messaged me to let me know you've bought your tickets. So that's awesome. All right. So I think it would be time to get in. Val says, I'm surprised I've been able to hold out watching it so far. I know. I can only imagine. Jordan says he's getting his tickets and then going to bed. Hey, cool. Rock on, man. I'm going to be watching it on Peacock. It's what I did last year for Kills. That's not to say I may not go to the theater still to see it as well, but I plan to watch it on Peacock the minute it drops. Like last year when Kills dropped, it dropped at midnight Central, and I watched it literally at midnight. And this year I'm going to probably do the same. I'm either going to do that or I'm going to wait until like first thing on the 14th. That morning, like 8 o'clock or something, and just fire it up. Val says she's got her tickets today. There you go. Rock on. Sweet. And I do know like a lot of people are going to the theater and then going home to watch it on Peacock to see if it's the same version. And I really think it will be, guys. I know that it's fun to like think about it, talk about it, having the multiple versions. But realistically, practically speaking, I just for the studio to do that, because remember, the two cuts of the film, they have to score it all out. They have to finalize everything. So that's a lot of cost, right? It's a lot of cost to do that. Now, we know there were test screenings with a couple of versions, so I guess you could make the argument that they could just take one of the other version of the test screening, put that one out on Peacock. It's possible. So, like, I'm not ruling it out and saying it's not going to happen with 100% certainty, but I do think that the most practical thing would be for them to release the same one in both theaters and Peacock. That's what I expect, right? However, if it turns out that they do two different versions, I think that's awesome. It's cool, and I will be excited to see both versions. But yeah, we'll see. And so some of you guys, and I'm curious for those of you who are getting tickets. Lee says she's about to get her tickets too. Are you getting tickets for the Thursday night premiere? Because they always do these, like with Scream. Even though the official release date is the Friday, they always do like at least 2 or 3 showings the Thursday night before. So I'm curious if you guys are going for premiere night, or if you're going to be going on the actual 14th. With Peacock, there's no choice. You have to wait till the 14th. But if you're going to the theaters, I'm curious which ones you're going to. Destin's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. We need to catch up, man. It's been a little bit. We definitely need to catch up. Good deal. Looks like a lot of you have gotten tickets. That's fantastic. Jordan says, do you think this will be the best of the new trilogy? I'll tell you what, Jordan, it's a good question. Halloween 2018, I watched it again last week when I had Ashley Ray Riddick, who is Jamie Lee Curtis's stunt double, was on the channel as a guest. If you guys have not seen the interview yet with her, you got to check it out. For those of you that are new to the channel, you may not even have seen it yet, but I was able to meet, this is the second time that I've had Ashley on the channel. She is Jamie Lee Curtis's stunt double for this trilogy, for Kills, 18, and Halloween Ends. And she came on the channel last week, on Monday of last week, and we watched 2018 together. And it was so fun, live watch party. You really got to go check it out. I interviewed her for like an hour before the movie and like an hour and a half, or at least an hour afterwards. She stayed for such a long time. She was so generous. She is so sweet and so nice. And her energy, everything is through the roof. So check it out. If you guys have not seen that stream, you should definitely check it out. And Val or Katie, if one of you wouldn't mind putting the link in the chat for that watch party with Ashley from last week, I would greatly appreciate it, because I really want to encourage you guys to see it. The reason I brought that up is because every time I see 2018, I'm just reminded of how good that movie really is. In my opinion, 18 is such a solid film, and I like it every time more and more. It just continues. The rewatchability factor, which is a really big deal for me. I think the rewatchable factor for movies it goes a long way, and in my mind, for ranking a film or determining where it goes. That movie's great, and I just really enjoy it every time I see it more and more. So will Ends be better than 8? And I like Kills too, by the way. I am a fan of Kills. I don't apologize for it. I enjoy the movie. I think it is Michael Myers' show, and the Haddonfield town of Haddonfield, it's their movie. So I know there's some things I'm not crazy about. All the, Evil Dies Tonight, sure, way a little bit overkill. The hospital scene, let's cut that off. Let's like cut 10 minutes of that. Let's shorten that thing down. All those things are valid. I'm with you. But overall, I love the show. I'm not. I don't feel sorry or ashamed to say I really enjoy Halloween Kills. Now, I think Halloween 2018 is better, in my opinion. It's a better film all the way around as a whole. You know, in its totality, it's better story, everything. But Kills is great. And remember, Kills is a bridge movie. It's a bridge of the trilogy. It's that middle chapter, and middle chapters are always tricky because you're basically you got these two bookends, right? You've got your beginning and your ending, and then that middle bridge is trying to bring us from where we started closer to where we're going to be at the end. And it's hard to pull that off sometimes as a standalone movie. Like if you just go in and watch Kills, you know, it's not necessarily going to be your most favorite experience, perhaps. But I think what's going to happen is, and this is I've been predicting this for a while. I really do believe that after we see ends, I think it's going to make Kills. It's going to put Kills in a different light. I think that for those who are not quite as fond of Kills, and look, it's okay to not like it either. Like, you know, it's art. This is subjective stuff. So it's okay to love it, hate it, or be right in the middle. It doesn't matter. It's all equally valid, right? I respect your view just as you respect mine, okay? So that's not the issue. But I do think this. I think that if they come out and ends really does deliver with a great story and they execute it well, like really good execution of the story, it could shed light on Kills that will make it even better. Like we could look back and say, oh man, it all comes together as a trilogy, you know, one big story. Just think of it as a very long movie, you know, a 6-hour movie or 5 hours, whatever. And that's what I think could happen. And now it's no guarantee, but I think it could happen. So Jordan, to answer your question, do I think the ends will be the best of the trilogy? Wow. I think it's going to be hard to beat 18. I'm just going to say that right up front. I think that's going to be tough. But I also say this. Halloween Ends has the potential to be one of the very best sequels in the history of this franchise. It could easily catapult itself into the top 5. If it's easily. If David Gordon Green nailed the story, because it's all going to be about in this. Because remember, David's told us it's going to be more intimate. This movie's not going to be the bombastic movie we saw with Kills and all of the killing and the insanity of that movie. This is going to be much more intimate, scaled down to, you know, in some ways. And so what that means, and it's also going to be 2 hours long. So it's the key for this movie, in most movies, honestly, is the story. It really is the story, the execution, the performance of the cast. I'm not really that worried about the cast. I'm really not. The actors are fantastic. These are all very good performers. So to me, it comes down to, that's a given. Like the performance of the cast is a given for me. So for the only thing that remains a question in my mind is the story and the execution of said story. How do you pull it off? Do you do it well? Those are the things. So that's what's going to make or break Halloween Ends in my book. So Jordan, I say maybe it has a chance. It has a chance. But I think if it would just be at the level of 18, I would be ecstatic. That would be an accomplishment. So, good question. Great question. All right. So, guys, let's talk about this trailer. Let's get it started. All right. The Night Watch Zone, by the way, I do have a guest. Night Watch Zone will be coming to join us very soon. Probably any minute now, he'll be knocking on the door. But until then, we're going to go ahead and start talking about it. And I see Death Central's here. What's up, Death Central? Just wanted to say hello to you real quick. I saw you joined in the chat. Great to see you. Um, okay. So, and Jordan said, I love that. Yeah, it's exactly. I low key hated Kills at first, but now I like it a lot more. Exactly. I really think that Halloween Kills, it does get better the more you watch it. I've had a lot of people say that they really enjoy it more and more they see it. So, and that's how a lot of movies are. Sometimes you'll see a movie and you're like, yeah, it was okay, or it wasn't that great, whatever. And then for some reason you decide to give it another chance and you go back and watch it again and you're like, maybe I was in a weird mood that night. I've done this. I'm like, maybe I was just not feeling that good or something. Maybe I was tired, something that just made me not appreciate this movie. But I really liked it this time. And then I watch it again and it just gets better. So, yeah, I'm with you, Jordan. All righty, let's take a look here. So, Death Central says Halloween Kills is probably my favorite. Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. And Scott says I did like Kills better than 18, probably because I wasn't a fan of Sartain. Yeah, Sartain was he was something else, man. I'm telling you, for sure. Carter Scotland Allen is in the house. What's up, Carter? Good to see you here. Just catching up with the chat. Ghostface Fanatics here as well. What's going on, Ghostface? Love it. Glad you guys are all here. Okay. All righty. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm all caught up now. Very good. Take care, Jordan. You take care, man. Glad you're able to pop in, man. Yeah, go mop that bathroom floor, man. Do what you got to do, buddy. Glad you're here, man. Good to see you. Magnet the P's in the house. I'm here, Craven. Well, I'm glad you're here, Magnet. Welcome. And guys, speaking of folks popping in, I hear a little knock at the door. And I think I have a clue who this is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest tonight to talk about this trailer. We're just about to get started. Mr. Knight from the Night Watch Zone. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, good to see you
Yeah, man,
again.
I was I was trying to get myself situated so I could get on here. It was like, come on. You know how it goes.
I totally do. And so,
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with the chat, kind of giving some overall thoughts and stuff. I haven't really even started to dig into the trailer, man. So actually,
Yeah.
I was about to start, right now. So this is perfect timing,
All
really.
right.
Yeah,
Cool.
man, it worked out great. Glad you're
All
here.
right. Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Sweet. All right, guys. So, so night, we talked on your channel earlier tonight about the trailer. It was a really good time, and it was the first time we talked about it ever
Hmm.
together.
That's right.
And I'm like, what? We need to continue this discussion. So we'll just carry on over here. And so, I don't know if you had a chance to see it at all since we talked earlier. I went back and watched it one more time before
Hmm.
the stream started here.
I did too.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
Oh.
We're on the same page. So, give me your thoughts and kind of and I've heard them once, but I want to hear more of them and let the folks know who weren't who wasn't with us earlier. What are your general thoughts on the trailer and the movie at this point?
Well, again, I really enjoy the trailer. I think it was very well put together. I think it had all these really cool elements that we had been talking about, hoping and praying we'd have. We saw the stalking, we saw some winks and nods. We saw, all the characters we needed to see, including Lindsay. So that was cool. Um,
Hmm.
but one thing that we talked a little bit about earlier on my channel that I'm really starting to kind of vibe with a little bit. Hey, Katie. Um,
Everybody say hi.
hey to everybody. How's it going? um, but one thing that I'm really starting to lean more toward is kind of like what me, you, and Michael were talking about a little bit earlier. Is the whole idea of, can we trust everything that we see as
Mm.
being real in reality? Will Laurie have delusions? Will she have nightmares or fever dreams? Whatever we want to call them. There's a thousand different ways they could go with it. Personally speaking, as far
Hmm.
as narrative wise, I think that would be interesting. I think it would give, a lot of weight to Laurie. Plus, it would make a lot of things make more sense. Because one thing we did say about the trailer in these TV spots, we see a lot of the appetizers, all the stuff around, but we
Hmm.
haven't really seen the meat and potatoes. You know
Nope.
what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
obviously, everyone's saying that this movie is going to be different, a departure, odd, weird, and so forth and so forth. That would be something that would be interesting. That's not the whole twist, but some of these scenes that we're seeing, and again, like when she's dressed in the blue shirt, I'm just
Hmm.
wondering, why would she do that? Hey,
Right.
thanks, Danny.
Thanks,
You
Danny.
know,
Appreciate you.
I'm just wondering why she would do it. She doesn't have to do that to get Michael. She definitely doesn't have to do that to get an imposter. So why? I mean, now some people may say that was a wink and a nod to us, the fans.
Hmm.
Maybe, but we didn't, at least me, I didn't need it to go that far. And kind of like what Michael on our stream earlier said, that's really hitting us over the head with it. So, I'm just wondering
Yeah.
what's real, you know?
It's an interesting aspect because
Hmm.
if there are dream sequences, nightmare sequences, what's the word? Not illusions, but
Delusions.
delusions. Thank you. If that's happening, then all bets are kind of off because we don't
Right,
know. Like some of this stuff may not even actually be real, like in the real
right,
universe.
right.
I will say it's interesting though also about the the blue shirt because if you've noticed, I've only seen, as best I can tell now.
Hmm.
Don't hold me to this with concrete, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen three costumes for Lori.
Hmm.
Good night, Nanette.
Seeing the net.
Thanks for stopping by. I've seen her in the like brown dress whenever she's outside and Corey walks up behind her and scares her.
Hmm.
I've seen her in that outfit. We've seen her in, and then actually the other outfit, Night. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's in the blue shirt, but she's like a brown jacket or vest
Yeah.
jacket over it.
Yes. Yep.
So even that costume is still the blue shirt. And do you
Yes.
notice that every scene in this trailer, with the exception of the brown dress one, which is not very much, she's always in that shirt.
Yes.
Which Night, that makes me question: is it one of these things where you're talking about a dream, or are they literally showing us all the events from the act that happens in, be it that one night? If it's
Right.
because even at the junkyard, when she's got blood all over her, it's the blue shirt.
Yes.
So I
Yep.
have to believe that if I take it literal and say this is really all reality, it
Hmm.
seems to me that it's all happening the same night.
Yes.
This is the showdown at her house with the kitchen and
Yes.
the blue lights outside, right?
Hmm.
And then
Yep.
the junkyard. All is one night, which it could be that they just showed us the third act clips, right?
Hmm.
Not the other parts.
That's right.
Because she wears more than two outfits in a 2 hour movie.
That's right.
They just didn't
Yes.
show us those scenes.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, I mean, when you really and I'm going to be honest, I mean, we've skirted around this in conversations. Hey, Karen, how's it
Hey,
going?
Karen, good to see you.
We've skirted around this in conversations, me and you personally on
Yep.
our own channels, on the Lethal Collective channel and so forth. And the more like tonight, it was really starting to solidify in my head a lot because we are seeing that damn blue shirt a hell of a lot. So there's only a finite amount of reasoning for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It could be all one night, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yep.
But I, I don't know. I don't know. That just doesn't. And it could be. Maybe they're just showing us everything she does in that one span of hours. Could
Right.
be. As far as in the blue shirt, that is. That's very
Hmm.
possible. Actually, that's it could be highly likely. But other than that, it's got to be some delusion or fever dream or nightmare or something along those lines is the only other thing that makes sense. I don't think David Gordon Green would say, okay, in this movie, we're going to have you dress up like you did in 78 as a nod to the fans. I just don't know if he'd go that far.
Hmm.
A lot of his winks and nods are a lot more subtle and executed in the way that I think nostalgia should be executed. So I don't know, but it's definitely something interesting to think about. I, I I love the fact that we're having questions though. I'm so happy about that.
Yes.
We don't know what the end of this destination is going to be, but at least the journey towards it is still fun, still exciting, and there's a lot of curiosity. So,
Heck yeah. I mean, and that's what I was saying a little bit earlier before you came on was that what I love is it does show us a lot of stuff, but it
hmm,
makes you feel like there's still so much unanswered, like right now,
yes, hmm,
right? And that to me is miles ahead of what they did with Kills, the
yes,
Kills train, the trailer.
hmm,
I mean, it's just not even close because we are sitting here now with the final trailer, still not quite sure what we're going to see,
that's right,
and that's a
that's
good
right.
that's a big improvement
Yeah,
from the
I
last
agree.
time.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a lot of questions, man. I'm just like I said, and you brought up a good point about, maybe Michael, taps out halfway through and that definitely could rub some fans the wrong way.
Hmm.
But it's possible. It's possible. I hope it's not going to happen like that. Or again, like I said, if she kills him and then
Hmm.
kind of have Corey do his thing for a little while, and somehow Michael does come back, and maybe she doesn't know it's Michael. Or at
Hmm.
first, however they play that out. Now I could deal with that. You know, I suppose, and I don't know, man. I even talking about it, I kind of feel contradictory in my head, but I just want the mythology of Michael to be preserved, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
And I know everyone wants finality and I do too, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
I know it's like it's. I want the finality of of some things, but not like everything. I don't want to know. You know, I just if you're going to kill Michael, which again, I don't know that that fits the mythology of John Carpenter.
Right. Right.
Really?
Cuz he said you can't kill the boogeyman.
Yeah.
He's everywhere but yet nowhere, right?
Yes.
At the end of
Yes.
78, he was shot 6 times and somehow impossibly just strolled off and they
Yeah.
had no clue where he was.
That's
Now,
right.
I'm not saying they got to end this like that, although I wouldn't have any issue with it. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess mythology wise, I guess if at the end of this movie, like if in the middle of this movie, and I get it, Michael isn't at top he's not at his best. I get that.
Right.
But if Laurie kills him halfway through and then Corey is taking on the mantle, I just don't think that handles the mythology in the best way. Or if at the end of the movie everybody's teaming up on him and hitting him and slicing him and stabbing him and then he dies, I don't think that fits it either. Um, but again, I'm clouded by my love for the mythology of Michael Myers. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I know it's gonna, and we don't know David's take on it. Unfortunately, like
Yes.
on the
Right.
mythology of it, we don't know how loose he is, or if he's like okay with messing with it. He might
Right.
be. I don't
He
know.
might. He
Yeah.
might. I mean, yeah. He might.
Good night, Lee. Thanks for being
Good night.
here.
Good night, Lee.
It's like 7 a.m. almost now, 6:50 a.m. in
Whew.
Finland. My goodness.
Wow.
She
Lee
is
is
a
a
soldier.
trooper.
I
Right?
know. She is here. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, here on your stream, on the collective, Lee
Yes.
is just an inspiration, man.
Absolutely.
Um, yes, and thank you, Katie, for posting up Night Watch Zone's channel. If you guys, I know there's a couple folks here that are first timers tonight on the stream, and I'm so thankful you guys are here. If you have not subscribed to the Night Watch Zone yet, please do. Night has got, man, just incredible live streams and videos. You see him on my channel all the time. I'm on his channel every week with watch
Hmm.
parties, and we spend
That's
a lot
right.
of time together. We have a good
We
time,
do.
and
We do.
and you will too. All right, you guys will too. So trust me on this one. Make sure after you subscribe here, click the link to the Night Watch Zone right there, and just hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and then when this stream is over, you can go over to his channel and watch our stream from earlier
Mm.
because we were together earlier tonight on his channel
Yes. Hmm.
and we
It
dig
was
into
fun.
it. It was a lot of fun. Yes.
Hmm.
Um, oh, thank you, Katie. Katie
Oh.
says y'all are amazing together. Love you both.
Oh. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks,
You're so
Katie. We
sweet.
we appreciate you. You know
Yes.
how much we appreciate you. Blackest Eyes has a comment that Knight and I are 100% on. We never want to find out why he's supernatural. Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
It's
That's honestly, man. Even if they kill him, of course, there it goes back to if they kill him, is he
hmm
supernatural? But we know he's supernatural because he got up from the mob scene,
Yes.
and not only did he go like hiding, no, he went to his house and he
Yes.
killed Karen.
Right? He had
And
enough strength or enough, whatever you want to call it, to
yeah,
go to his house and kill Karen. And he didn't
yes,
do it like in a weak way. He was stabbing at her. He was making sure,
yes, he was
you know.
in that condition. So he kills
Yes.
her. Then he allegedly now, from what we can tell, he goes into hiding, and that's where David Gordon Green says he went into not he used another word than hiding, dormant. He went
Dormant.
dormant for four
Yeah.
years,
Hmm.
and basically he's in bad shape. David said he's in bad
Hmm.
shape, and we know, Knight, from this trailer, when Corey goes down that sewer the first
Hmm.
time, and they show us the extended scene now where you see him, like, remember, looking long wise, and
Yes.
you see him come down the ladder. Well, you see him after he comes down the ladder, and he's like, hello, and he's
Hmm.
walking to the end. And of course, we see Michael grab him. So we know that scene's coming up. But did you notice how nasty Michael was, like with
Yes.
mold and dirt?
Cruddy.
Just
Yes.
yeah, he was. It's
Hmm.
almost like someone buried him, and the stuff just collected on top of him for 4 years.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. That's what it looked like.
it's what it looks like.
Yep.
And when he got his knife, it was that knife was moldy and covered
Yes.
in
Caked
stuff,
on blood and
caked.
residue. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. The whole
yeah,
idea of him going quote unquote dormant, now that follows the mythology because that's what he did when he killed Judith, came outside, they
yep.
pulled off the mask, and he is literally like looking into infinity. That's what that little
Hmm.
kid was doing. He did
Yes,
the same thing in the recreation scene in Kills when he came outside and the cops had him pinned. He just stood there and stared. We heard
uh,
Loomis say it multiple times, staring at a wall,
yeah,
looking past the wall, waiting for
yeah,
this night as if he had some type of silent alarm waiting to be triggered.
yes,
So See, I like that type of stuff. At least when David Gordon Green says that, I'm like, okay, you're still on the right track, because it makes sense. We don't know why he kills when he kills. We don't
Mm-mm.
know why, and I don't want to know. But
Nope.
the idea of him going dormant and just staring off and whatever, I'm cool with that. I'm
Wow.
cool with that.
Me too. Karen says, Craven, you and Knight are the best channels on YouTube. You guys subscribe to them both. Seriously. Aw. Karen, thank you.
That's sweet.
That's very nice. It really is. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you see this happen. They spend a lot of time. We get a lot of Corey in there, and
Yes.
we mentioned earlier whenever we were on your channel, hey Dace, what's going on? Dace in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's time to get pumped. Yep, for sure. One of the things I mentioned earlier, and I want to revisit now, is that there's this idea, and I know, and I just kick it last night because I don't remember the specific source, and I usually am pretty good about like locking down like who said what. But in this
Yeah.
case, I can't remember who. I'll have to research it. But someone credible, because it was not like just it was enough that we talked about it. It was something that had some credibility to it, and
Hmm.
they'd mentioned how that the possibility of Michael having a almost like having a partner,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
colleague or not
Yep.
colleague's not the right word, but like a
Yeah.
something go doing
I,
his bidding almost.
yeah. I thought, and it was David Gordon Green who said it.
Okay,
Um,
thank you. That's
yeah.
right. There you go.
And I thought he did say something along the lines of colleague
I, yeah,
or a
counterpart maybe. I don't
gosh, I
know.
can't remember.
Seems like it was
Oh
a C.
man.
That's why I was thinking of colleague, but it may not have been colleague.
Yeah.
But basically, in other words, an ally. At least like
Yes.
an ally, someone where
Yes. An
he's not killing them.
unlikely, I think he said, unlikely ally or unlikely
Yeah,
colleague, something like that.
unlikely colleague. I think that's it. I think that's the
Hmm.
quote. And I'm like, wait a minute,
Hmm.
because we don't want to hear Michael talk.
Right.
So is he like,
Never.
is never? Is it a situation where Corey says, "Hey, I'm gonna go kill for you," and he's just like shakes his head,
Mm.
or I mean, I
Whew.
don't. If we go,
We
talk
could
to me, man. I don't know.
we we could literally be headed down dark territory if that
Yes,
happens.
yes.
Like, it- I mean, don't get me wrong. We see Michael when he does the head tilt and things like
Hmm.
that. He'll do the breathing and all that type of stuff. But I don't. Again, if this is how it's going to go, even a little bit, they have to execute it in a way. Again, you have to
Yes.
respect the mythology.
Yep.
And as much as our conversation, especially tonight on both of our channels, although some of this conversation is raising more questions and a little bit more hesitation of sorts, I just
Hmm.
I just and maybe I'm just blind, but I just have to believe that David Gordon Green, when
Yep.
push comes to shove, he knows what this mythology is. He
Hmm.
knows what us as diehard fans expect. Not saying he has to do what we want, but I'm just
Right.
saying I just couldn't see him having Michael talk, number one. And I really couldn't see him having Michael, kind of, I don't know, maybe a slight
Yeah.
nod, if anything. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's getting into dangerous or dark territory, man. It really is.
It is. You have to be so careful if you
You
do that.
do.
I mean,
You do.
oh,
You you don't
wow.
have you don't have the highway to maneuver like you would with Freddy or with Pinhead or with Ghostface or with Candyman or with Chucky or with
Hmm.
Leprechaun. This
Yes.
is a
Yes.
character, his lane is here. you know,
Yeah.
and
Really.
he's very good in that lane. So, um yeah, man. But still my curiosity and excitement for this far outweighs my hesitation and
Oh
fear.
yeah, 100%. And this trailer still leaves me wanting more, which is what you want. You want to feel like
Hmm.
I've got to go see the movie to figure out what this all means. How does it all fit
Yes.
together?
Hmm.
Lucas is in the house. What's up, Lucas? Says I'm
Hey.
envisioning more of a distant, secret admirer. You know, I was too until I saw but until the trailer shows Corey's going to them. Like Corey is,
Yeah.
he's not staying distant. He is walking into the sewers to find him, and he makes
Yes.
contact.
Yes.
And I don't know when. And this is what I mentioned earlier. We see these trailer scenes. What we don't know is the order of them in the movie. See, and
Yes.
that's why it makes this
Yes.
tricky because
Hmm.
he may not go down there to meet Michael until the very end, and he meets his end there, and he
Yes.
dies there. That's possible,
Hmm.
and or it could be at the beginning, and he's killing with Michael. So you have two different
Yes.
movies just right there, just based on that one scene location in the
Yep.
movie.
Yep.
Keeps it fun. It keeps us talking. It keeps us
It
guessing.
it does. It really does. Because again, I mean, that could like you said, we have no idea where that plays out in the movie.
No,
As far as the moment or the timestamp in the movie, and then of course, again, what's real and what isn't. Obviously
that's true
the
too.
the sewer scenes. I'm pretty much on board that that's real. Um,
Hmm.
and all of that. But again, we just have no clue. There have been times when I've thought that that's right at the beginning of the movie, and then there's times that I've thought that that's more like near the middle. Maybe 40% into the movie to
Hmm.
give Corey a little bit of intro and some moments and stuff. And all of that. But it's hard to say, dude. It really
It
is.
is, and that's good. That's a good thing
Yes.
because in Kills, it felt like we knew where everything goes. We just kind of
Yes.
slotted it all in place, and there was no real surprise.
That's right.
But I still love the movie,
Yep.
even with
Me
that.
too.
Hey, Cody, welcome to the stream. And
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen, we got an announcement to make. We've got ourselves a brand new channel member. Happy Sanjo is joined the channel. Welcome,
Hey, Happy.
Happy.
All
Yay.
right.
I see Happy all the time over on your channel overnight and on the
Yes.
watch parties. So this is
Yes.
so cool, Happy. Well, Happy, I
Yes.
get to give you a special greeting now. This is such a fun thing to do. I love doing it on live streams when people join the channel on a live stream because I can
Hmm.
say thank you in real time and not just in a comment or an email. So, Happy, I want to say thank you so much. You now are no longer only a subscriber or a watcher of the channel. You, my friend, are now part of the inner circle of the cult of Craven. You officially now are no longer just part of the family, you're a Cravenite. Yes, you're a Cravenite, which is the name reserved for those who support the channel monthly. Your name is now green in the chat. You have that killer skull logo by your name to let others know you're a Cravenite. And I want to say thank you, and I want to give you a big virtual hug and say welcome to the inner circle. Yes, thank you
Woohoo.
so much. Love it.
Very cool.
Love it. So, guys in the chat, be sure if you haven't already, I'm trying to catch up. I'm a little behind. But if you have not yet done so, please give Happy a lot of love and show him or her, the Cravenite way of how much we love you guys and appreciate everybody. All right.
Yeah.
And sweet. Thank you so much. That means the world. It really does. It really does mean a lot. All right. We see here. I've got a few questions here that I thought we could hit up real quick. Uh, and Bearded's got a great point. Eric says, because it's day in the first shot of him looking in the sewer. That's right. It is
Yes.
daytime. The next shot, seconds later, it's night. So,
Yep.
see, it could be any point in the movie.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yep.
that's right. Yeah.
Good point. Good point, Eric.
It's just great that I honestly think they sat down with the marketing team and said, look, don't do to it. We can't do what we did last time.
Right.
We got the feedback. People have told us, I mean, I don't know. That may not have happened, but I hope it did.
Right.
It seems like it did.
I would hope so too, because with this movie, I mean, the one thing we do know is that this
Hmm.
movie is going to have something very interesting in the way that the story is developed or develops. So we
Hmm.
do know that. And from everything that we've seen in these thousands of TV spots and this final trailer, there's still so much we don't know. So either the marketing team was just very smart on it on their own, or the filmmakers and David Gordon Green and all those guys did have some communication with them saying, hey, you can only show X, Y, and Z, and stay away from X, Y, and Z, something like that. Which I think people should do more of in movies, because we've seen movies where
Hmm.
the trailers just give away way too
Oh
much.
gosh, I know so
Way too
much.
much. Yeah.
Yes, and I was nervous today when I
Me
pulled the
too.
trailer up. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yep.
You know, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is not so bad.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great trailer. It showed a lot without showing a lot, and I
Yeah.
love the music, and the little play on the Halloween theme, and it
Hmm.
felt epic. And all I know is that I'm optimistic, and I'm just praying that when I come out of this thing, I'm gonna have a smile on my face and
Yes.
say, "Wow, we got three good
Hmm.
movies from this
Yep.
crew."
That's
That
right.
in and of itself, I mean, and it's not a cop out, because I know some folks may think that, and we've seen a lot of interesting comments for Halloween videos. But if for some reason they don't stick the landing with this movie, I'm still fine with 2 out of 3. You know that Meatloaf song,
True.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
I still think it was well worth them bringing everything back and going through those 3 movies, even if this third one doesn't hit the way I want to hit. But I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it.
Me too. I do too. I really do. I feel like it's going to be intriguing, and
Hmm.
if they do this Corey angle right, or I'll say copycat angle because we don't know for sure. Although I really do
Yes.
think it's him. I think it's Artie. I think David's kind of telling us it's him. I don't think he's trying to hide it personally,
Right.
but
Yes.
I really don't, because this is not like a Scream movie where you're trying to keep us off balance with who done it,
That's right.
and that missed. So I kind of view it like he's telling us it's Corey. It's not really a mystery. It's just a matter of how they do it. But but for in case I'm wrong, I'll say for the who done it. I mean the copycat factor.
Hmm.
I love the idea when she pulls the mask off. That
Yeah.
that that makes all my mystery tingle boxes go off.
Yes.
Because that's
Yes.
so there. If they could actually pull off a little, if they do this night where they don't show us it's Corey, like they
Hmm.
don't show the viewer, where we don't know if it's him the whole movie.
Right.
Now I'm
Yes.
digging that because that's
Yes.
like blending a mystery with the Myers side as well. And
Yes.
so I hope, in a way, I hope they do that because I love me and mysteries and whodunits and unmaskings and reveals. So,
Hmm.
and here's the biggest thing. By Extron, by the way, I've had this thing up forever. See you, man. Here's the thing, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't believe is what if we and I know this is a long shot, so just everybody hear me out. I know this is not likely, but it's fun to
Hmm.
talk about. What if we're in that situation and she pulls that mask off and it's Nick Castle
There you go.
as the copycat, and we find out Corey was never the copycat. Maybe
Hmm.
he was obsessed with Michael. Maybe he was
Right.
hunting him down in the sewers
Hmm.
because he was almost trying to be a protector of Allison
Hmm.
and Lori, maybe. And
Hmm.
maybe his motive was never to be him, but it was to keep him there, to stop him
Hmm.
from ever coming back. And we
Yeah.
find out that this copycat is like Nick Castle, someone
Hmm.
who completely different. And
Yeah.
that would be a mind blower for me. My mind would be, wow.
Yeah.
How would you feel if Nick Castle showed up that way? I know it's not likely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that could be really, really interesting. And I think, again, that just gives you uh, more lane to drive in with this movie as far as, like you said, maybe Corey is obsessed with him, but not to become him, but to keep him at bay, or to understand him to keep him at bay, or understand him to protect Allison, or maybe he is, a character that's kind of in the gray, and we don't know
Hmm.
exactly if he's going to fully cross over or not. You know what I'm saying? But if she unmasks Michael and we see Nick Castle,
Oh,
I mean, I think that again, it's a mind blower. And then, again, you still have room for James Jude, and ultimately, that's what I
yeah.
like too. We still got, we can still see James Jude in that last 15 to
Yes.
18 minutes or whatever. Um, so yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. When Nick Castle said he was going to be in it, and he made a big thing about it. It was out
Hmm.
there. It was in articles and everything. To me, again, we could be totally wrong. Maybe it's a quick little moment where, it's kind of like, where's
Hmm.
Waldo, and he's walking by the camera and he's just like that, and that's it. But to
Yeah.
me, I would think, even if it's not Michael, it'd have to be at least some character that we at least kind of see, and
Yeah.
someone that has something going on, even if it's just a quick scene, a quick couple words or whatever.
Hmm.
Otherwise, why even say it?
Right.
Because we
Yeah.
already know that he doubled in some scenes, a couple of moments, he did the breathing. We already knew that. So I would
Hmm.
think it would be something a little bit more involved than that.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's
I
right,
mean,
man.
it could be him. We could see that face.
It would be such a cool thing to me. Thing to
Yes.
see that, and we know he's in that diving suit. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
he had a diver's suit, green screen suit. It goes up to his neck,
Yep.
and so
Yep.
he's underwater. They filmed him underwater, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, we know there's a bridge, that bridge scene.
Yep.
So I go back to that scene. Like, what if he's in a costume, Michael Myers costume,
Yep.
underwater, and she unmasks him, and his mask just comes off, and it's
Mm-hmm.
Nick Castle. I don't know. Somehow he's
Yeah.
going to be in water somewhere.
Yeah. I
So
mean, we haven't seen any of that in these
no,
TV spots. We haven't seen Dr. Mathis, or at least we're not
nope.
sure if we saw Dr. Mathis. He
Yep.
could have been,
Could have
in
been.
that pool or whatever.
Yep.
Um, so there's a lot that we haven't seen. The one thing that we did see, or at least it was said, that was, I mean, we kind of knew this anyways, but it was made everything concrete, is when Laurie said that he killed my daughter, and they showed that quick flash of at the end
Yes.
of Kills with Karen and stuff. So as far as we know, it is set in stone that Karen is dead. I know some
Yes.
folks were, a little curious, and I loved Judy Greer in Kills as well, but as
Oh
far as we
yeah.
know, she is gone. Poor Allison, man. Both her parents,
Oh
her
man.
boyfriend, the other kid that was a friend. I mean, this poor girl, you know?
Oh gosh. Yeah. I can't even imagine. She's at that age, just being so young, like just barely 20 years
Yeah.
old now, and all that she's gone through. Good night,
Yes.
Katie.
Good
You
night,
sleep
Katie.
well. Take care, and good night, Nellie. If you're still here, take care.
Good night.
Yeah, I know what she's been through. My goodness, man, that's
Yeah.
so much to overcome. Hey, Michael, welcome to
Yes.
the stream.
Hey.
And hi, hey Ty. Ty's here as well.
Hey.
Man, it's just oh, Scummy. What's up, Scummy? I understand now. Nick Castle's controlled by the radio tower, which is owned by Silver Shamrock. Oh
Oh
no,
man.
man! You're talking about dark territory. If we go that
Yes.
way, oh man,
Yes.
I can only imagine our conversation after seeing it. What that would be
Yeah.
like.
Hmm. Oh, I'll tell you what, man. If some of these things that we're theorizing, like, again, Michael checking out early in this movie, I'd much rather see, a Silver Shamrock nod than that. you
True.
know,
You're
I
right.
would, you
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
jeez. And
And I don't
again,
even
I
have.
just,
You go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and again, I'm just thinking, David Gordon Green, he's smart. He knows, I mean, he's literally said this is a love letter to the fans, so it's like,
Yeah, man.
that Michael is the franchise. So, he's got to make it to the end, or if he checks out early, he comes back at the end. I
Yeah.
just can't see it. I just can't see it. I might be super surprised and disappointed on the 14th, but as of right now, I just can't see it.
Nope. Scott says David is doing a beautiful job with this franchise, with keeping Michael within Carpenter's limits of not giving him a reason. Yes,
Yes.
he's done a great job so far, and
Yes.
I have to believe he'll keep that intact for ends.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
I
I mean,
agree.
like you say, how remember how first one ended.
Yep.
He's just gone, and you hear breathing.
Yep.
So
That's right.
I would absolutely love that to be the ending again.
Yes.
Mr. Z says my theory is Lori kills Corey, Michael kills Lori, but she'll be revealed to be safe in the ending, and Allison kills Michael once for all.
Hmm.
You know what's interesting, Knight, is that any number of these scenarios we can mix and match, and they're all plausible right now.
That's right.
Isn't
That is
that
right.
cool?
Yep.
They're all plausible, and even like we talked about on your stream, I hadn't even mentioned it. Is and I'm a big advocate for this. I want to see the redemption story for Hawkins. I
Hmm.
want to see them
Yes.
cash in on the story that they built in 18. I mean in Kills, and they
Hmm.
spent a lot of time from the flashbacks to the ending of the movie even. So
Yes.
it would be real disappointing. I'll be disappointed if they leave that alone and
Hmm.
never pay off. There's no
Yeah.
payoff for them.
Yeah. It would be very odd if they don't do anything with that because it was such a
Hmm.
big point in Kills in multiple parts of
Hmm.
the movie in the beginning, in the
Yeah,
hospital scenes with Laurie. So there has to be something, there has to be. I would think they would,
yeah,
especially, and Will Patton is such a great actor. Give him something to work with in this movie,
yeah, man. Because he is really good at
Yes.
doesn't matter what role he's in or he's just. I mean, even in the hospital bed, he was
Hmm.
believable. Like I believed everything he said. I'm like, yeah,
That's
he's
right.
right.
Hmm.
He knows what he's talking about.
That's right.
And it would be great. Like I think I was on your stream earlier. It was just to see because we know he if he had his pistol and he just pulled that thing up and he put and not to be too graphic for the stream or anything algorithm, but if he was to let's just say point blank range,
Hmm.
I mean right
Hmm.
on it. I'm talking about right there and
Yeah.
doing it. I would be satisfied with that. It'd be like yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of
I
course,
would
then we have a
too.
problem though. Then we have a problem though. Myers is dead. And then we have to ask ourselves, as a fan, do you want to see him die? Like H2O we watched last weekend.
Hmm.
We both loved the ending when he got his
Right.
head chopped off. It
Right.
felt great, right? I was
Yeah.
like, yes, this is
Hmm.
awesome. I never felt like, oh shoot, he's the boogeyman.
Right.
He should still be. I never felt that way. So
Right.
what do you think it's in the setup, or do you think it's what's your mindset now compared to H2O, where you liked it like I did?
Well, I think a lot of it is the setup, but I also think that, and as much as we both love H2O, as much as I love H2O, you were still in that vibe of the sibling thing. You know what
Oh,
I
that's
mean?
true.
And
Yeah,
Michael, and this may sound silly to folks, but it's just the way I look at it. Michael at that point had gone after Lori, in one and also in
mm-hmm.
two, So here we are 20 years later after 78, and he's still coming after. He travels cross country. He literally hunts her down to
That's
get
right.
her. So in that
Yeah,
iteration, although I loved the movie and it was well done, it was it was more of a vibe of you know what, I'm sick of this shit, you know, and let's end it. Let's finally end it.
Hmm.
With this story, because they're not siblings, Michael doesn't even care about Lori.
True.
Michael is on a path. He's on another level.
It's
We
right.
we can't understand it. He
Nope.
is doing his own thing, and Lori is placed in his path by Sartain in 2018,
Hmm.
and now it looks like Corey is going to be the bridge and ends to get there.
Yep.
So I think what you said is the answer is the setup, how this is going to happen,
Hmm.
but also knowing that this trilogy closely follows Carpenter's vision of the mythology. And
Hmm.
the thing about 78 that was so great is that you just couldn't get a hand on him. You couldn't get a hand on him. Every time you
Hmm.
thought, nope, 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 all the way to the very end and closing credits. So again, and I am a fanboy, so maybe that's where I'm coming from. But to me, the mythology, it just seems like he should survive,
Hmm.
or at least it's left unanswered, and it
Yeah.
would be scarier that way. It'd be more like, geez, I wonder what happened, what's going to happen. But we never find out. Like this timeline will be
Hmm.
done. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And to
That's right.
me, that's what Carpenter wanted to do. He wanted to do 78, and that's it.
That
You
was it.
never know where Michael goes. You never know if he survives his wounds. You never know if he's going to kill again. And your mind comes up with infinite scenarios.
Yep.
If we do that with ends, of course, it has to be executed the right way to the point. But if we do that with ends, wow, and we just don't know. Does he go dormant again? Does he just walk off to another town? What does he
Hmm.
do? We don't know. We're not supposed to know.
Not
He's
supposed to
the
know.
boogeyman, you know?
Yes.
So,
And I really hope it ends that way personally. In this one, like H2O, I was excited to see him killed,
yes,
but I don't really feel that way in this one. It feels
right.
different, and
Yes,
I want Lori to live, but I want Michael to live too.
yeah,
And I
yep.
don't know. So let's talk about Lori for a minute. I mean, how do you feel about her survival chances at this point?
Whew, man, I don't know. And you know me, as well as anyone. I've gone back and forth on this thing so much. The optimistic side of me wants her to survive, just because I'm such a
Hmm.
fan of her and this character. Um, but at the same time, you know, I'm tongue tied, man. I mean, at the same time, I can see Michael killing her.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I don't know, man. In a way, this sounds cruel, but in a way, she's lived her life 40 years, now 44 years,
Yes.
and it's like consumed by this. It disrupted her family, it disrupted her life, it disrupted everything. So it's almost like, man, she's just she's gotta be let go, and I hate to say it like that. And don't get me wrong, I'll be emotional. If she dies
Yeah,
at the
man.
end, in any way, shape, or form, I'll be emotional about it just because of my affinity for the character for 45 years. But I just can't. When she says people are going to be upset and this is going to be weird, this and that, I just don't see Lori winning, you know?
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, that's a
maybe, but I just
maybe.
don't see it.
Well, that's a great point. And going back to that question or that statement she made, because she said it. This movie's going to make people very, very angry, and I'm like, what? What? I can't let that go. Like I can't not
Hmm.
just pretend I didn't hear that. So
Yeah.
what would make fans angry? Like what would make us walk out of there being like, I can't believe this. I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Is it Lori dying and Michael living? Is that what you think she means, or
I
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, and I've been working on something for a little while. Hopefully, it'll be out tomorrow. We'll see. You know how things go. There's one, and I don't want to say it here right now live, but the
Okay,
only thing I could think of is how it happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's necessarily just Laurie lives or Michael lives, but how, And there's something in my
okay,
head that I've been thinking about that I do think would kind of piss off fans, but it kind of goes in line with what we've been learning about this relationship with Laurie and Michael, especially what was said in Kills. It would make sense, but I could see how it could upset folks, you know. And so, yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's interesting stuff, man. It really, really
Yeah.
is.
Well, I'll have to talk to you offline about that.
Mm,
I want to find out where you're and see your video to see its heading, man. Because yeah, I
yes.
mean, there has to be something about this movie that some of us are going to be angry about. That we're going to be angry happened, and yeah. Jonathan says I'm popping in to say hi. Said I got to go last minute stuff before the hurricane tomorrow. Oh man, be safe out there.
Ooh,
Be
yes,
very safe, Jonathan, and prayers that all goes well and nothing
yes,
gets damaged and no one gets hurt. Man, that's number one.
yes.
So take care of yourself and let us hear from you. You know, keep us posted. 7/8 says they'll kill each other. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
That's a real possibility. Yeah. Let's see here. Danny says in the trailer when Lori goes to take the mask off in the kitchen scene, that seemed like a nod to H2O and Resurrection. Yeah. I
Maybe.
mean, Dave Gordon Green does like these sequels. He's talked about the franchise, and there are little nods to a lot of the movies that we've seen
Yeah.
already. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And look who's in the house. Coriander loves
Hey.
horrors here. What's up, Coriander? Michael needs to die. He's getting way too old to be the boogeyman effectively. When he comes
Hmm.
back from the dead, then it's game on, baby. That's true. Well, I mean, remember what David Gordon Green said? And I put a video out it literally 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. It posted where it's talking about David Gordon Green said he's in bad shape.
Right.
After kills, he goes off to be dormant and hiding and dormant, and that he's basically waiting to die. That's what
Mm-hmm.
David says. So it almost sounds like when you have an old sometimes an animal when
Yeah,
they
like an
get
old
really
dog.
old, an old
Mm-hmm.
dog, they'll go off alone
Yep.
and to die. They just know it's time. So if you think about it from that mindset, that Michael's coming back as an old dog who's just got a little bit of life left in him. Well, maybe a lot of life in the spurts left in him in the kitchen, if that's
Mm-hmm.
really him, and I think it is. Um, that's all he's got left in him. Lori kills him. Lori takes him out. And maybe are we supposed to be more accepting of his death given those circumstances, Knight, versus 78 when he's 20, 19, 20, 21 years old, full of life, full of energy.
Right.
And now we're seeing a nearly 70-year-old in this timeline, Michael Myers.
Well, I mean, again, you could look at it that way because it would make sense. He's older. He's been friggin' through a war. So, it makes sense that at some point, it's just going to happen. But at the same time, what's interesting is that in this movie, David Gordon Green has said that, and we've even seen it in articles, that the copycat or Corey reinvigorates him.
Yeah,
It's almost like, hey,
yeah.
I'm back in the game, baby. So how does that happen? In my mind, it's something, again, back to the mythology. It's something that
Hmm.
triggers him. It's almost like, okay, I'm back to work. It's beyond his physical limitations or his physical injuries or what have you, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so, again, if he checks out early, yeah, I mean, they've laid some groundwork, but at the same time, like I said, man, and again, I'm a Michael fan. I just don't want to see it. If it happens, if he dies at the end, if she overcomes him, or
Hmm.
Allison or Hawkins at the end with the good, it's executed well, I could deal with that. But if it's halfway through the movie
Okay.
or even 70% through the movie, it just doesn't feel like it should go that way. Now, they could execute it beautifully and I could be fine with it when I see it. But right now, just talking about it before I see it, you know, I'm just like, you know,
Not feeling it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
No, I get it, man.
yeah,
And we've got Corey down there,
there
of
he is.
course. There he is in the sewers.
Yep,
And this shot here, let me find it. It's right here. This is a shot of Myers in the sewer. Look at how dirty he
yeah,
is.
yeah,
His
yeah,
his
yeah,
jumpsuit's filthy, covered and
yep.
stuff.
It was a great shot in the trailer too, man, because he gets the knife, or at least the way it's edited. He gets the knife and then he kind of
Yeah.
stands up and kind of has that little head movement. I mean, Michael has listen, and I've said this before, and if this trailer is showing us things that are in the movie, actual things, or
Mm-hmm.
even just the way it's being shown to us, Michael has never looked as good as he has in these three movies. He
Yeah.
has looked absolutely fantastic. The lighting, the costume, the mask, James Jude, everything looks
Everything.
fantastic when Michael is on screen. It really, really does, and I'm so happy about that.
I am too. And they've done a great job with the mask. I mean,
Hmm.
I hope whatever Halloween movies come in next, and they will come next in the future, and they bring Myers back and start over. I hope they start with either this mask or Christopher Nelson has a
That's right.
hybrid version of that mask of some
Yep.
type that
Call
is a
Christopher up and say, "Dude, we're going
yeah,
back to work. Let's get
that's
ready."
right. Let's go.
Because seriously, man, I mean, and my affinity for the different masks over the years. This mask, I mean, even though it's moldy and war torn and everything, but it still looks good. It still looks like the '78 mask. It looks the way it should, you
Hmm.
know.
That's
And when
right.
you combine that with an actor like James Jude, it's money. It's been money.
Yeah, it has. It really has, man. I'm so thrilled about it that they did this because we've seen some masks as we're watching through the franchise
Yeah.
that some of these masks are just miss the mark. I feel a little bit, and
Yep.
it's just nice to see that in three movies it's consistently good.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, Now this is a shot I want to talk about real quick, and we'll go for a little bit longer, and then we'll start to wind down. But um, this no, that's not. Yeah, yeah. This shot is the one.
Hmm.
So here we see Michael Myers' mask on what looks to me like a table. It could be the floor. It's possible that's the floor. Um, but either way, here is this mask, and then on the right there is a bloodied knife. You see the blood on the blade.
Yes.
And to the right of that, I don't know if that's a person. At first, I thought it was a person, but as I look at it, I'm like, I can't be sure that's a person. It may
Hmm.
not be.
Yeah.
But we got the bloody knife, we got the mask off.
Hmm.
So here, now this hand, the more I look at this hand, it looks dirty.
Hmm.
And I know it's dark, but it looks like what I would expect James Jude Courtney's hand to look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if that's the case, then Knight, I believe the trailer just told us that Corey, assuming that Corey's the one that had the mask on and is now
Hmm.
dead as a result of the bloody blade
Hmm.
on the floor, that perhaps Corey dies first and
Yes.
then Michael takes his mask back and the finale is with Michael.
Yes, I mean that hand definitely doesn't look like a young hand.
Mm,
Okay, and like you said, it looks dirty, it looks grungy, um,
yep.
and it just doesn't. I just don't see it as Corey's hand. So it definitely could be James Jude, maybe Nick Castle. Who knows if it gets that
Ooh.
crazy, but definitely I'm leaning towards James Jude. And I gotta admit, man, and I gotta look at it some more. I want to put it on bigger screens and stuff. But with that unmasking scene,
Oh.
I'm being honest here. There's times when I saw it and it's quick, like you can't even really see it. But there were a couple times like I couldn't even pause it to check it. I had to let it play. And of course, as soon as you almost see it, it cuts, to the end.
Yes.
But there's been times when I looked at it, man, and I'm like, okay, that's James Jude. And then there were a couple times when I looked at it and I'm like,
There it is.
God, man, is that hair? Is that, I don't
See,
know.
I don't know because you see there on the top, on the right, on the left hand side, you see
Hmm.
where the skin, you see the forehead where the white skin is. That's like the forehead skin, and then
Yeah.
it's you see that black. What is
Yeah.
that? Is that
Well, that's
like
what,
is that eye makeup where the eye hole was? Like where Corey
well,
had the makeup around his eyes?
and that's what I'm saying is that when I look at it like that and I see, first of all, if it's James Jude, you shouldn't see anything dark.
No, you should not.
Because
So
he's
maybe that's a
bald
clue
with
night.
well, that's what I
That's
see
yeah.
when we were talking about it on my stream earlier. That's what I was trying to say, and I didn't explain it well, and I also didn't have this beautiful image that you have. But I'm telling you, man, I guess what I'm saying is I'm unsure,
Mm-hmm.
and the Michael Myers fan in me wants it to be Corey,
Yep.
and then James Jude picks up the mask, and then he's back in
Mm-hmm.
business.
There you go. And you
No,
know how this could play out, right? Like
yes,
he's killed. She calls Hawkins, and
yep,
she goes out to the front yard. The house is empty.
yep.
Guess who comes in the back door?
That's right. Yep.
And he
Yep.
picks up his mask.
And she doesn't know it, and then
Nope.
bam, you know what I mean? So
Thinks it's
and the,
over.
and the
Yep.
other thing too is the look on her face, in some of the shots we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she'd have that look if it was Michael. Maybe she would.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she would.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the look to me of, oh my God,
Yes, it's
it's cool.
shock. It's like
Yes.
stunned.
Yes. And so the only
Yeah.
sensible answer is that it's Corey.
Yeah. I think it makes sense, Knight. It
Yeah.
really makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll tell you that it's all kind of comes together because when you see like we see here again, we see the darkness spot over there on the left,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't tell if that's hair or if that's eye makeup because she's pulling the mask up, so
Yes.
it's really hard to figure out exactly what that is. But James Duke Courtney is gray.
That's right.
It's not black.
Mm-hmm.
So that is either dark hair, which is not James, or it's makeup, which is not James.
Right.
So if
Yep.
you think about that, right, and then we take this and take into account, let's see here if I can find the picture again. We have that one, and then add that this
Mm-hmm.
where you got the knife on the floor. That's probably from killing Corey. She dropped the knife,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the old hand, the dirty old hand
That's right. It does not look
picking
like the
up the
hand
mask.
of a 20-year old or 22, however old he is, young kid.
Hmm.
It does not look
Nope,
like the hand of a young kid.
not at all. So
Yes.
what does that tell us, guys? That those two connections tells us that Corey dies in the kitchen. In
Yep.
fact, this image right here, that's Corey. She's stabbed in the
Yes.
chest right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both hands on the knife coming right down in his heart.
Yep.
And then I think it's going to be after this because he's laying down. See, he's down. She stabs him here, and then she's going to pull. Then we go to the mask scene where she pulls the mask off. She does this next.
Mm-hmm.
and it's Corey Cunningham,
Yep.
and that's she's freaks and she's shocked. She's in
Yep.
total shock.
And that would make sense because she thought it was Michael. First of all,
Yes.
it's not Michael. So that means Michael is still,
Mm-hmm.
out there, unknown. And also it's Allison's boyfriend. How
Yep.
could he do that? How could he betray the family like that? Yada yada yada. She
Yeah.
killed she may think he's innocent. She killed an innocent
Mm-hmm.
person. She may not know that he killed others, or we don't really know that part of it. But either way, it would make sense that she has that look on her face if it is not James Jude Courtney.
Yes.
So,
Yes, indeed. I love it, man. We're doing some. There
mhm.
they are. See, there's Corey,
Yep,
and he's got his hand bandaged up, and
yep,
so I'm telling you, man. I think we're sneaking. I really do.
yep,
You know, and that's the ending I think we all want. We want
yes,
that ending to be Michael, not Corey.
yeah. It's
You know.
if this is the end of the end of the saga, and all these types of things and all that, it's it's got to be Michael, right? No matter who lives or dies, it's got to be those two involved. To me,
Yeah. Yeah. Coriander says it looks like hair to her. She says
Hmm.
that's an imposter. Imposter. I'm believing it is too. I really am. I'm
Yes,
believing. After we look at these closer images, I think that's him, man. I think
yes,
that's Corey, and it's that means Michael's still ready for that fourth or that final act, I should say.
yep.
And let's see here, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new channel member that just joined the channel. All right, thank you.
Very
Tracy
cool.
has joined the channel and is now a Cravenite. Well, Tracy, I want to say thank you so much for your generosity. You have no idea how amazing that is and how that helps me and the channel and continue to do streams like this and make more content, be here more often. So thank you for your generosity and becoming a
Yes,
monthly supporter here of the channel. So your name now is in green and you've got that really cool skull logo by your name. And I want to give you the formal welcome that I do for every new member when we're on a live stream. So, Tracy, here we go. I want to say thank you. You are now no longer just a watcher or subscriber of the channel. You have stepped into the inner circle of the cult of Craven, and you, my friend, are now a Cravenite. You are now a Cravenite, and I want to say thank you and give you a virtual hug right here online and say welcome to the family. Thank you so
welcome,
much. That's
welcome.
so awesome.
Very
So
awesome.
cool. Yes. And I love it when it happens live because I can
Mm-hmm.
do that, and really express my
Yes,
appreciation live. So,
absolutely.
everyone in the chat, please give Tracy a warm welcome. Let her know how welcome she is here in this community and as a Cravenite. Let her know so that, you know, this is a place you call home. It's just
That's
a place
right.
you call home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Love it. That's so awesome. Maybe a couple more questions tonight. What do you think? You good for a couple
Sure.
more? Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's see here. So Cody had a question. Do you think Corey killing the kid he babysits will be the opening act? Now,
Hmm.
I have a thoughts on this, but you want to go first and start us, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are after that.
Well, it could make sense that way, because obviously we've got to meet this character, and obviously he is accused of the killing. But I don't know if that's going to be the first scene, the opening act. I
Hmm.
tend to think there'll be something else before that, and I could be totally wrong. I've always thought to myself, and again, this may not happen, and they haven't shown anything in the trailer to give us a sense of this, but I've always thought that some way, somehow, there would be some type of connection to the end of Kills.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe just something showing. After Michael killed um, Karen, and then he slips out the back door. or something. I don't know, and I could be totally
Hmm.
wrong about, but I don't think it's going to open with Corey and this kitty babysits. Now that could happen, some months into the movie, but I don't think it'll be the first thing that we see. But I could be wrong on that. I really could.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's going to be the first because it just seems to me they're probably going to tie up some of these. And I know David Gordon Green said that he wasn't going to give a whole lot of explanation about
Right,
things that have happened, but
right.
it does seem to me that you start somewhere else first, and then you go there. But I do think they'll go there early
Yes.
because
Oh
I
yeah.
think part of the story is the whole, does Lori trust Corey? Like
Yeah.
Lori, like Allison does. They're
Mm-hmm.
dating, but I don't think Lori's trusting. She's suspicious, which is
Mm-hmm.
why she's like following them. Remember, they're at the radio station, and
Yes.
she's in her car watching them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yep.
ooh, I kind of keeping an eye. So
Mm-hmm.
now I will say this: I think the trailer reveals a flashback scene, and and the reason I say that, I don't have it. Let me see if I can find. There's one image that I'm looking for here, and give me a second. And let me just see if it's on here. I'm hoping I get lucky, but so far I'm not finding it. I can probably reference it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a there is a there's a scene where it shows Corey opening the door, and he's got a couple behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Welcome, we're gonna have a great time tonight. It's
Right.
Halloween."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you notice the way he looks in that picture or that image screen sequence
Yeah.
compared to how he looks, like, for example, I
Mm-hmm.
know you can't see him very well. His face, he's hang on, or better yet, give me a second here. Bear with me, guys. I want to give you guys the best possible information so that you can see what I'm talking about here. Um, I'll just use it as an example. Okay, so you have that image where he's got glasses on
Mm-hmm.
and his hair's kind of wavy, and I believe that's a flashback scene. I believe it's
Could
a
be.
flashback sequence because he looks nothing like he does here,
Right.
in my opinion. I know that's not
Mm-hmm.
still not the best shot of him, but his hair is completely different. He doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
glasses now. He looks older now to me. So
Mm-hmm.
what I believe we're going to get is a flashback, and you're going to see that image of him with the glasses, and he's like, "Welcome to the part. We're going to have a good time tonight." And then we're going to see this kid on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. There's the kid, and you see he's got his Halloween mask on the couch over there, the Wolfman
Yep.
mask. And I believe this is the one who's being babysitted. And he's in this scene, the kid tells whoever he's talking to, I think it's Corey, he says that Michael Myers kills babysitters, not kids.
Yes.
And that's all, and it cuts away. That's all we get. But,
Mm-hmm.
they're letting us, based on the information we have, it looks like he's the kid. Corey's the. I think these are scenes they're going to show. It may not be for very long, maybe a couple of minutes, but
Yeah.
it's just a theory. I could be dead wrong. The only reason I say it is because the Corey with glasses and the wavy hair looks
Mm-hmm.
totally different than every other Corey in the trailer. Every time we see him.
I agree.
So
Yep.
I do think we'll see that flashback, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see Michael Myers killing that kid. And this
Yes.
is where the infatuation begins, the obsession
Yes.
begins with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Corey didn't kill the kid,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll kill later on, as potentially.
Yes. I could see that too, and it would make sense. You
Hmm.
know, that's
Yeah.
where he basically comes kind of face to face with the shape, and then everything goes downhill from there.
Yes. Everything goes downhill. He becomes obsessed with the shape,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point that he wants to become him. And we have the whole arty thing, playing out.
Yep.
So yeah, I think so. Uh, and you feel that? Do you feel the same, man? Do you think that's a good chance of that as well?
Yeah, I do. Because even when I saw that TV spot, or no, 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 it was the other trailer, the first trailer, whatever. It's been 10,000
Yeah,
of these things. But
yeah,
when I saw him in that scene, it did look like it was a flashback. Like everything
hmm,
else that we had seen of Corey, or the still images and what have you, he always looked different. He looked more
yeah,
more ragged, so to speak. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And that would make sense. It really would. I wouldn't be surprised if it plays out just like you were saying.
Now, man, here's a shot that I know we both appreciate because we're huge fans of 78 and the Easter eggs. And tell me
Hmm.
David Gordon Green didn't have fun with this shot.
Yeah, man. I mean, can you imagine in the same spot that he got, stabbed,
Yeah, yes.
you
I
know, and
love that.
and we talked a little bit about that. Like Michael Michael is like this whole process of him and Laura being brought back together, some way, somehow, there is,
Hmm,
maybe a sense of revenge going on. It
hmm.
it has to be, because he's looking to stab her where she stabbed him.
Yeah, man.
He's pulling an H2O moment where he's trying to put her hand down the garbage disposal, basically saying, "Hey, you took my hand, I'm going to take your
Yeah,
hand." So
yeah,
it makes sense, and that's why I keep thinking that can't be in the beginning of the movie. It can't be in the middle of the movie. It's gotta
yeah.
be at the end. It's just
Hmm,
gotta be like you. To me, it's like, they always say save the best for last, right? It's almost like if you do that halfway through the movie or 60% into the movie, it's almost like you've already reached your peak, and we can't. All we can do is
yeah.
go down from here. From
That's
here,
true. Yes.
because no matter what happens, no matter how cool the imposter seems or looks, we're going to know that Michael is gone unless he shows back up, which again, I'm okay with that scenario. But if he doesn't show back up, as far as the rewatchability of the movie,
Hmm.
it just, I just can't, like I said, I might be a pissed off camper on the 14th, but I just don't see it right now. You know,
I don't either.
I
I don't
just
either,
don't.
man. Yeah, it just I think it's gonna. I really think we're gonna enjoy. I think this movie, man. I know that maybe that's taking a step of faith, but I think David did great with the first two, and I think he's gonna do just as good with this one. And
Yeah.
that's my expectation. Like when I turn that thing on
Yeah.
Peacock, I'm firing that sucker up at midnight probably on Thursday, the 13th, and I expect to like it. I expect to enjoy the movie when I watch it. And
Now, whatever
yeah,
you do, if you watch it, then, because we've talked about this offline. First of all, I'm happy for you. A little jealous too, but I'm not gonna be seeing it until noonish on Friday. So you cannot tell me anything. You
nothing.
can't.
Nope.
Don't send me a smile emoji or a frown
A
emoji.
poop emoji.
You can't do it, man. You can't do it. I'm just telling you, you can't do it.
What if I said this? What if I just said, bro, dot, 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 dot.
No, no, you can't do that. You can't, man. You just can't.
I love it.
Because me and
I will,
Coriander, we're gonna be prepped and ready to go at 12 or 12:30, whatever that showing is gonna be.
yeah,
And I just, I'm gonna be
I
in
hear
that
you.
zone.
Yeah, buddy.
You
Oh,
know.
no. Absolutely. I will not be, I'm going to be radio silent until
Okay.
Lethal Collective. I'm going to be like,
Okay.
now after you get done watching it, you can call me if you want, and we can like
Yes.
talk about it for a little bit, um,
Yes.
for sure. And I might wait until Friday morning, like I originally was going to,
Yeah.
and watch it like at around 9, 10 in the morning. That's still a possibility.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there's going to be a part of me at midnight. It's going to be like, I could just go watch it. I could just stay up till like 2 o'clock and go watch the movie. And then, of
Funny,
course,
man.
that's when I see myself. The movie ends, and I'm like, Time to do a video. And I have like 8 o'clock in the morning a video post.
Yes, right?
I probably won't do that, but
Yeah,
we'll see. I got 2 weeks to figure it out. I think I would enjoy it more probably by just waiting until Friday
right.
morning and not
Yeah,
staying up so late. And because
being
if you're
tired.
tired, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll mess up your next day too. And then
Yep.
plus, if you watch a movie tired, it affects your enjoyment level.
It
It
does.
does.
I've had that happen to me on quite a few occasions. I remember, and I think I've told you this before, when me and Coriander do Slasher Movie Club on my channel, there have been times
Hmm.
when we watched that movie late at night. And there was one movie in particular where we watched it late and we didn't really dig the movie. And we just so happened to watch it again during the day when we were, refreshed. And
Yeah.
and we loved it. We loved it,
See, there
you
you
know.
go.
So I've learned, if I can help it, sometimes you can't help it depending on your life schedule, but if I can help it, I want to watch the movie when I'm at optimal level.
100%. That's why I think it's worth waiting to. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go to bed at a decent hour, and
Hmm.
then I've already got that whole day scheduled off for anything I need to do outside of YouTube. So I've planned ahead for it. So it's a
Hmm.
vacation day for me. So I can literally just wake up that morning, come in here, turn on the theater system, the sound, and fire it up and let's go,
Right.
and just enjoy it and take it in. I won't text you either way until after I know you've seen it.
Right.
Um, all right, couple more questions here, and I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. Even though there's still there's over 50 people here
Woo.
at at basically 1 a.m. Eastern. It's incredible on a work and school night. You guys are
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
Think like a director of productions. What's going on? I still love that name. Says, what are your thoughts on the line? They say, I guess in the trailer, they say you can't kill the boogeyman. It just changes shapes. Uh oh. Oh boy. Here's Christine again.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
hey, I mean, we can say a lot, but it's a question of what do we do? you know? Um, again, I mean, we know there's going to be an imposter, so we know that. So
That's
it
true.
definitely could be alluding to that, you know.
Yep.
And the other thing too is that, our kind of ongoing thought on this,
Hmm.
based upon this conversation about how we think that it's Corey that's going to get unmasked. James Jude picks up the mask, and then it's him against Laurie at the end. But what you've shown when Laurie has that shocked look on her face, what you've shown is that you can't kill the boogeyman because other people can become the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, you can, I guess what I'm saying is you can do that and have an interesting story with this new character, but still get down to brass tacks with Michael Audrey Myers. You know what I mean? It's just all
Yeah.
about execution, you know? So
It
that's
really
that
is.
that's my hope. That is
Hmm.
my hope. Is that, and who knows, man, maybe they'll do something wacky where at the end it's Michael against Laurie, and either way, whoever lives or dies, maybe they leave something open where somehow we don't know if Corey really died. I don't know. I'm really
Hmm.
reaching now. I'm really reaching now. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just spitballing. But who knows? But as long as James Jude Courtney is facing off with Jamie Lee Curtis at the end, I'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. This is something else. Just thinking it out loud as we're talking through this. How cool is it that we've got so many of these rabbit trails?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we haven't even talked about the radio tower. We've been going for 2 hours,
That's right.
and the radio tower is supposed to have a pivotal part of the movie. Now we know they're at the
Yep.
radio station, We do know that. We
Yep.
see Michael kill the DJ, so that's one kill we know. But but
Hmm.
but we don't know if there's more to it than that.
That's
Well, I
right.
don't think so. But
Yep.
we have the rat. We have that, and then we've got now. Yeah, those whole line. The boogeyman changes shapes,
Yes.
and wow, wow. Uh,
Wow.
it could be so much stuff
That's right.
that it's fun. It's. I mean, honestly, these next 2 weeks are going to be a blast counting down because can you imagine the conversations? I know the final trailer's out, so there's not going to be probably any more new visuals, which is good. But
Right.
night, you and I have not even really broken this down. We have not gone
That's
frame by
right.
frame to look at this stuff closely,
Hmm.
grab snapshots. Because I think once you and I start to do that, like I'm starting tomorrow, tomorrow to do that, and
Hmm.
I'll have a video out either tomorrow. It might even be Thursday. I'm going to take my time. I don't want to rush through it, and then
Hmm.
as I go back and I find more stuff I missed. I'm like,
Yes.
oh man, if I just would have
Right.
slowed down, I would have seen it. So
Yeah.
I'm taking my time, but I'm going to try tomorrow to really start, start the process. But you and I could have so many more conversations about
Hmm.
ideas and theories based on this trailer when we really start to look at it closer.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Yeah.
excited for conversations we're going to have.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing that I think people, it'd be nice for them to think about. Here we are, we're talking about a Halloween movie. It's just a slasher movie. That's all it is.
Hmm.
Mike has one of the most narrow mythologies of any of the major horror icons. And here we are talking about five, six, seven, eight different ways this
Yeah.
story could go. And we don't
Yep.
know 100%. I think that's awesome. After being a franchise
Yeah.
for 45 years, I think that's awesome, And
Yeah.
I just hope that no matter what happens, again, I said it on the collective, I've said it on my channel, I've said it on your channel. If this movie doesn't work for me, I'm going to let people know. I'm going to say, that just didn't work for me. I
Yep.
can still enjoy 2018 and
Uh huh.
Kills and all the other
Absolutely.
movies I love. But the fact that we have so many conversations about it, I think that that is a cool thing in and of itself for the fan base. You
I do
know?
too.
Yeah.
And you know what? At the same time, I'm going to keep it real because I always, you and I both are always very transparent, and we talk very openly about with our hearts on our sleeves.
Hmm.
After the 14th's over, I'm it's going to be a little sad for a few days because
Yeah.
all these discussions that we're having right now, like
Hmm.
they're gone. They're over.
Yep.
And now we'll have, but here's the thing: we'll have Scream to talk about because it's going to be ramping up marketing. I mean, there's new things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's Evil Dead. There's all kinds of stuff. But you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? As far as how this excitement we're feeling now tonight
Yes. Hmm.
is going to be a part of that's going to be gone because there's no
Hmm.
more guessing or theorizing what this could mean, and that
That's right.
it's all out in the open. We know what it all means now.
Yep.
And then it's more of like, where do we go from here? When we talk about Halloween, do we?
That's right.
And there's conversations to be had. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna miss this energy that we're sharing about the movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I totally agree with you.
Corey Anders says, "Come on, guys, we had Michael crying in one movie.
That's right. Halloween 5.
We just saw
Yep.
that."
Yes, we
Uh,
did.
and look here, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony's coming in hot and heavy with a $10 super chat. Thank you
Ooh.
so much, Anthony. Much appreciated. Yo,
Yes.
fellas, what's good? I think copycat aspect will play a huge integral role in the film. Yes. Thoughts? And then it says rank these opening sequences in the sense of underrated OG, Child's Play, Hellraiser, and Urban. Oh my gosh, Anthony always brings this stuff, man. It's so good. So now let's do the first part here first. I think the copycat aspect. Yeah, we've been talking about it a little earlier in the stream, but
Yeah.
let's revisit it. For Anthony and the super chat. Well, we can revisit that. How do you feel about overall night? If you're looking at the whole of the movie, what percentage do you think the copycat theme or story will play into the overall plot of the film? 50%? Is it higher? Is it
Oh,
How do you feel about that?
well, it's hard to put a percentage on it, man,
I
because
know.
we just haven't seen. I just think they're still holding back on some stuff in these spots and trailers. I mean, it could be 50%. It could, it could be
Hmm.
even a little bit more.
Yeah.
My hope is that it's more like 40, 30 or 40%, and that we get a dose of Lori having delusions, being
Mm,
being being paranoid, being
yeah.
chased by ghosts, you know, because I
Hmm.
think that would be more interesting. But it could be 50% or a little bit more,
Yeah.
It really could. It's all
It
about
could.
execution.
Yeah. It is. I agree. I agree with Knight. I think that I kind of see this as, you know how you sometimes when you watch a show like, let me think of a TV show I can give an example for, like CSI, like CSI New York, for example. That's just, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
throw it out there. If you've ever seen this show, you have two concurrent storylines running. You've got
Yes.
two different in the show, and it bounces back from case to case to case till the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost see this night being the story of Corey, or that rhymed, the story of Corey and the copycat killer. Okay, anyway, so you have this story going, and then you have the story of Lori and Allison's relationship, and Hawkins and Lindsay, and all of this over here.
Yes.
And at some point, they both merge with knives in hand and blood all over the place and
Mm-hmm.
bodies on the floor. So I kind of see it like I could imagine this movie bouncing back fairly evenly between the two storylines.
Yeah, it could. It really
Yeah,
could. And if
we'll
they do it
see.
right, it would work.
Yeah, it could work. It's the writing, man. Like you say, writing execution is just if it's good dialogue, if it's good, if it doesn't slow down, that's the key. You can't drag. You
Hmm.
keep the plot moving,
That's right.
but I think that it could be enjoyable. It could be a lot of fun. I'm honestly a little bit excited at just seeing them tackle such a task of a copycat like
Right.
this.
Right. Yeah, I like the way you word that. It's almost like you're attracted to this challenge because it's
Yes,
a huge challenge.
it is.
To pull this off is a very difficult thing to do.
It's high
So
stakes.
it is. So I also agree with you. I like the way you said that because it's putting into words a lot of my feelings. It's like that's almost the fun of this is to just see if they can pull this thing off.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have easily done a movie where, whatever, Michael's gone, it's 4 years later, he comes back, him and Laurie fight, somebody dies, boom, the end. They could have
Right.
just done that, but
Yep.
that would have been so much more paint by numbers, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So the fact that they're going with this angle, it's intriguing, it's scary in the sense that you don't know if they can make it work. But I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like
Me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. Exciting. I'm like I'm pulling for him. Like I want
Yes.
him to do well. I want him to just pull it off well and execute it. And if that movie ends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was
Hmm.
done. This was so amazing. I would. I mean, man.
Yeah.
See, that's why I should not watch it at midnight because if that's how I feel at 2 in the morning,
You
I
won't
will
get to
have to
sleep.
talk. No, I won't go to sleep, and I'm gonna have
Hmm.
to talk about it. I'll have to start live streaming. I'll
There
just
you
start
go.
live streaming at 2 a.m. Say, guys, look, but then I can't really talk about it because no one's seen it, so
Right.
are very few. So I'm better served to wait till Friday
Yeah.
because that way I can talk to you about it afterwards if we
That's
can
right.
after you see it.
I agree.
And then the last part of this here, Anthony says, rank these opening sequences: the original Child's Play opening, the original Hellraiser, and the original Urban Legend opening.
Ooh,
Oh
wow.
man!
That's difficult, man.
All right, I'll give you some time to think about it. I'm going to take a stab. I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
I'm going to rank, and again, this is a hot take because this could really go a number of ways. I'm going to go with Urban Legend, Child's Play, Hellraiser. Those are my three. And a lot of that's because I'm not a real big fan of of Hellraiser series anyway, in general.
Mhm.
So I prefer your slasher, more traditional slasher movies. So those are going to always probably be my favorite anyway. But that's my
Yeah,
sequence. But Hellraiser's got its place. Trust me, for
yeah.
sure. So those are mine. Urban Legend, Child's Play, Hellraiser.
I'm I'm probably gonna go the totally opposite way. First of all, I think Urban Legend was a fantastic opening sequence. We just talked about that on Slasher Movie Club like 2 months ago. And it is a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic opening. For what it is, that is hard to beat. But I'm probably gonna go Hellraiser, Urban Legend, Child's Play. And the
Okay.
only reason is because Hellraiser is a movie that still freaks me out to this day.
Yeah,
Just
it does me
everything about
too.
it, the practical, Doug Bradley's
Mm-hmm.
performance,
Yep.
just how it's set up, the music, the cinematography, everything about it is just nightmare fuel. So that's
Yes.
that's why I'll go with that.
I think that's fair. That's a good. I mean, and again, they're all. It's like these are all really, in my mind, really solid. You can't really. There's not a bad of one. Any order's bad. No order's bad of these.
Right.
So great job, Anthony. Anthony always brings it, dude. Like he
Yeah, he does.
knows. He's got a gift for the questions.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely.
Your generous super chat. You notice that the $10 super chat, it's yellow.
Yeah.
You notice the color's yellow, and
Hmm.
Night, I think that it's only appropriate that we spread some spicy mustard on that super chat. I mean, it's yellow.
It
It's
is.
got a, it's a sign. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, you're going to probably be like, "What am I watching?" Uh, but you'll understand the more we do this. Every super chat that comes in, if you're new here, I know Scott. There's some others that are new. Every super chat comes in gets a special clip, a funny little silly clip. There's some meaning. Some have backstories to them. But anyway, they're all just fun little clips, and they get a little crazy sometimes.
That's
And
right.
Night, this is as far as crazy goes. This is up there. The
It
spicy
is.
mustard is it's up there. So
Yes.
so and so Anthony, this is you, my man. Child of the corn. Let's go with some spicy mustard. Crank it up.
Do you feel the hunger tonight?
Oh yeah.
Are you a little hungry?
Let's go,
wanna
Night.
be a hot
Hot
dog.
dog.
Be a hot dog tonight. I'm a
I'm a hot dog.
dog. If you wanna take a bite, if you wanna dip me in spicy mustard, then you can. 'Cause I'm a hot
I'm a hot
dog.
dog.
Wow.
Wow.
Ow.
Wow.
Yes. Ow.
Oh man.
I love it. And next up, we got a super chat coming in for $2. Thank you so much. Think like a director Productions. Oh, Knight, shut the front door. What if Hawkins is the new copycat? Man,
Oh,
Knight, what would you do if that mask comes off and it's Hawkins?
I just I don't see it.
Yeah.
But hey, man, who knows, man? Maybe there's a chance of it. It just seems like it goes against everything we've seen up to this point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We have talked about a possible family tie, so in
Yeah.
some way, maybe that could explain, like all of a sudden, boop, he flips or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. I just don't
Yeah.
see it. You know?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's play devil's advocate just for
Yeah,
fun,
yeah,
and let's pretend it happens.
yeah.
Now, imagine you're in the theater how would your brain process this? What do you think you would feel? Yes.
I would be totally shocked,
Yeah.
absolutely totally shocked, because I really dig the character. I absolutely love Will Patton as an actor, and it would kind of be like, you son of a, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, it'd be a big whoo moment,
Yeah, it
you know.
would.
They'd have to do some explaining. There'd have to
Yeah, they
be
would.
there'd have to be some type of understanding about
Yeah,
why, you know.
that's right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, if it happens, man, that's going to be the moment,
That's
you
it.
know. To me, that's almost bigger than a bigher moment than if Lori or Michael die, you know.
I was about to say that, right?
Yeah,
I was just thinking that that would outshine everything.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all we'd be talking about. Oh yeah, yeah, Michael
yeah.
dies too, but
Right.
no, it's Hawkins. I mean, that's all.
Yep,
I mean, that would be such a shock to the system
it
that I
would.
just don't see anything else mattering that much anymore
Right.
after that happened. It would
That's
be.
right.
Here's the thing, though. If they play it smart, and I don't think they. 'Cause I think based on the trailer, we already know someone dies in that kitchen and they're unmasked. So we
Yes.
already know it has to be Michael or the copycat.
Yes.
But what if now I'm going to go out in crazy wonky land one more time? What if we actually see that Michael Myers is killed in the kitchen, as I had mentioned earlier?
Hmm.
I don't think it's that way anymore, but earlier I was thinking that,
Hmm.
and we're like, oh, she's killed Michael, and there's still like 30 minutes in the movie, and then the copycat thing, they get word there's a Michael Myers appearance at the junkyard,
Hmm.
and they're like, Michael Myers is here. What? I'm totally hypothetical in here, but anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Point is, we get to the finale. If it's in the junkyard, they're there, and there's Michael, and then the thing ends, and the very last, almost next to last scene of the movie, they unmask Michael Myers, and we're all expecting it to be Corey. Oh wait, better yet, we all say, oh, it's Corey. We all know it's Corey, and they're there at the junkyard, and they kill him. And all of a sudden, a car pulls up, and Corey gets out, and he runs up and says, "Are you guys okay?"
Hmm.
And they're like looking at Corey, and they're like, "Who's this?" And they unmask it, and it's Hawkins.
Ooh.
And so it's Hawkins, and this is like, and then the movie kind of ends almost on that note.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, it would be
Hmm.
disappointing if they don't give an explanation.
Right.
It would, but just remember, like how I mean, six ended, where we've got Loomis with the Thorn Curse
Yes.
somehow transferred. They never explained how, unless I missed it. I don't remember them explaining how that happened.
No.
It just was there.
Hmm.
And then the movie goes to end credits. Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, dun. I mean, we would be very disappointed because we would be like, why? Why,
Yes.
why, why? So I guess if you're going to do that, you would need to have another 10 or 15 minutes
Yeah.
of some kind of explanation, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but I guess my point is this: it wouldn't overshadow because it happens at the end. Like Michael's already dead. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense. Maybe not. Maybe I am. But
It'd be
and I don't think it's going to
crazy.
happen. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I like to go down rabbit trails, like where these hypotheticals, right, for fun.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the thing about this movie is that all of this type of stuff that we're talking,
Hmm.
there's a chance of all of these things to some degree,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because we know the one we know, or at least we think we know, we're pretty sure of it, is that we haven't seen a lot of the stuff in this movie,
yes.
you know, stuff that we haven't seen yet. So that being said, why haven't we seen those things? There has to be some important things that happen or some important interactions that they do not want to show us in these TV spots or
Mm-hmm.
trailers. So that's where the money is. That's where the gold is. What's going on. So
Yeah.
for all we know, some of the movie could have Hawkins showing that he's like, kind of losing it a little bit, or whatever. If we were to go down that path, you could have some
Mm-hmm.
scenes where he's literally, he confides to Lori that, Michael is his brother or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Who
that's
knows?
right. What if he was
Who
his
knows?
brother? Yes.
You know, she might say,
Oh,
"Why weren't you able to kill him?" You know, that night or whatever. And then he finally confides to her something he's never confided to anyone else. Who knows? I don't know.
I couldn't kill him. Why
Yep.
not?
I
He's my
wanted to, but
brother.
I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. See, now that opens up a lot more plausible motive now of this whole thing.
Yes.
If and again, Knight and I promise you, people, we don't expect this. We're in that part now where we're just exploring all these possible outcomes.
Yes.
Anyway, and so think like a director. I think that's an interesting idea, and thank you for spurring on this train of thought. This is fun to talk about.
Yes.
I enjoyed that. That was
Mm-hmm.
great. And so for think like a director's super chat, Knight, do you have any requests, my friend? See
Oh. Um.
if I still have. I've tried to keep most of my stock in.
Do you still have Bobos?
I have Bobo. I have thigh grabbing screamer, and I've got Bobo 4.
Let's
So
do
two
the thigh
favorites.
thigh grabber guy. I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay, here we go. Here we go for your $2 super chat. Think like a director. Here is your clip. Crank it.
I'm gonna make your bubba bounce right now.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
He's anticipating it. He's just like before it even goes.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
Oh
Hey
man.
guys, another thing, Night, to celebrate. We've got a third new channel member on the live stream tonight.
Woohoo.
Scott. Hey, Scott is one of our very first time viewers. He's just found the stream tonight. It's his first time, and he has become a channel member. Scott, thank
Nice.
you so much. Wow, that's amazing. It means the world to me that this is your first time to be on a live stream and you enjoyed it so much. You're becoming a member already. That is amazing. And thank you, thank you, thank you. So now I'm going to give you the greeting again. I love this because it just means the world to me. So Scott, I want to say thank you for no longer being only a subscriber or a watcher. You are now walking into the inner circle of the Craven. You, my friend, are now a Cravenite. You have the title of a Cravenite. Your name is green. You got the skull that signifies to everyone you are a monthly supporter of this channel and content. And I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me, and I greatly, greatly appreciate your support. I know it's, the world that we live in today, it's hard to separate from our hard-earned money. There's so much in
Yes.
demand, and it means the world to myself, and I know Knight on his channel. We both feel the same when you guys become a member. It doesn't matter whatever level. It makes our day because it's humbling because it's like
Yes.
you're willing to invest in this channel. So thank you, Scott, for becoming a channel member, and everyone in the live chat. Please give Scott a warm welcome and a virtual hug right now, if you would, and welcome him to the family of the channel. So awesome. Thank you,
Very
Scott.
cool.
So cool. And we have Sarah in the house. Sarah says, I'm trying to find your message here, Sarah. Here, I saw you come in. Here it is. I'm so late, but just in time for spicy mustard. Oh, that's right. That's funny. We're so glad you're here, Sarah. Hope things are going well for you, my
Yes.
friend. And hope there's been no more power outages up there in Canada from when the
Mm.
storm came through, and all is well. Oh, thank you, Scott. And more hugs. There we go. Yes, sir. Love it.
That's awesome.
Love it. Uh, Quick, we've got. Where's a question here I wanted us to throw up really fast? Oh, yeah. Danny had a question for us. He said, are you guys going to watch season 2 of Chucky? It comes out next Wednesday. Haven't heard you talk about it. So let me just tell you real quick. I have season 1 of Chucky on my DVR. It's since last fall. I have not seen it, but it's
Hmm.
still there. I've got it there. I make sure it never gets deleted. And guess what's going to happen? Starting in November, sometime in November. We haven't got dates figured out yet. It's just in the very early forming stages. But we're going to do, when I say we, Gory B movie, myself, and Knight. I think you said you were in on this, right? With
Yep.
us? Okay,
Yep.
great. So Night Watch Zone, myself, and Gory B movie, all three channels, we're going to come together and we're going to watch all the Chucky movies. We're going to have a watch party for all the Child's Play movies, 1 through 6. I believe there's 6. We're going to, right, Night? Isn't it 6 of them?
Yes.
Okay.
3, C, Brian.
Maybe 5. I can't remember.
Oh, 7.
Oh, 7 movies.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. We're gonna watch them all. We're gonna watch from 1
Hmm.
to through 7, and then then I'm gonna watch the TV series after that, because Gory was telling me that the TV series picks up kind of like if you know the movies, it'll mean more.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna watch season 2. Guess what? I'm gonna be DVRing it so I can stay at home with my first season. They can share a bed.
There you go.
Knight, what about you, man? Are you gonna watch it?
I'm gonna probably hold off on it too because there's so much on my watch list. Um,
Yes.
but I have seen bits and pieces of it looks like it's really really good, and everything that I've seen, it fits in with the mythology very well. So I think it's a really good example of taking an iconic horror franchise and an iconic horror villain, and
Hmm.
there's still things you can do with it streaming wise, and I think it's really really cool. But I mean, I might change my mind, tomorrow, and I might say, okay, let me get ready for season 2. But as of right now, I'm probably going to either hold off, especially once we start doing our thing together, our collaboration.
Yeah.
Um, because there's just one thing for people, and I don't want to speak for Steven, but I know I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
To do what we do, and especially for us on my channel, because we also talk about specific movies. We
Hmm.
specific movies. I watch so many movies in the span of a week for just channel stuff. I'm not even talking about
Right.
just for fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a lot of times when people say, "Hey, you're gonna watch this, you're gonna watch that, you're gonna watch that," it's usually a question of where is it on my watch list. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
yeah, it's it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
It is. I was having
It
the
is.
discussion the other day, and may have been with you, man, in our conversations, but it was. I was like, it's so rare that I just sit down and like watch a movie just to for myself, like just to watch a
Right.
movie, like because I don't know, people that aren't content creators may not understand the how our brains work with this stuff, because it's
Hmm.
when I'm watching a movie night or a show, I'm already thinking, how I got to get this on the channel. I got to talk about this. What am I going to do? Am I going to do a
Right.
video? Am I going to do a?
Hmm.
It's like, it almost feels like it has to be connected to the channel in some way,
Right.
and
Hmm.
it's hard to break away from that and like shut the laptop off. Don't even have it turned on during the
That's right.
movie, and just watch a movie that I may never talk about here.
That's right.
And and
Yep.
I find it harder to do the longer I've had the channel. It's harder
That's
for me.
right. It's true.
Yeah,
Yep. No doubt.
it's tough. It's kind of like what we were talking about the other day, where maybe like in November for Thanksgiving week or something, I'm
Hmm.
gonna take and just unplug from social media,
Yep.
and put the laptop away, like take it out and just put it up, not even have it
Yep.
around,
Yep.
and just mentally recharge.
Yep. We're
You know?
going dark.
Going dark. Yeah.
Radio
Oh,
silent.
radio silent. Yes. Yes, indeed. Uh, and look here. Anthony's coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Anthony. More iconic opening, Halloween 78 or Jaws?
Oh, come on, man. He knows this is an unfair question. He's asked me that before.
He's
Come on.
poking the bear,
He
man.
is. Like this is and I don't want to answer for you, Stephen, but for me
No, go ahead.
it's basically like let's flip a coin
Right?
and that's
Yes.
the answer. Because, I think both movies, they're two different types of movies.
Yeah,
Fantastic directors, fantastic stories, and so forth. But both movies have fantastic openings.
they do.
They really, really do.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to talk about, uh, yeah, I can't even say that. I was just about to say, if you kind of make one, one that has heavier weight to it, but you can't really do that because both of them are so integral to the story
Hmm.
of each movie.
Yeah.
So, um, I can tell you that Halloween's opening to me was more chilling because seeing a kid do what Michael did was very like off-putting for
Oh,
me, especially when I first
yeah.
saw it.
Yeah,
Now,
for
don't
sure.
get me wrong, Jaws, the opening and Chrissy being killed the way she was, that was obviously very scary and very like wow, visceral. But shark attacks do happen, and it's kind of like
Hmm.
you do take that chance, when you're in the water. Whereas with Michael, he killed it, and it was his sister. Like maybe
Yeah.
if it was a stranger, not that
Yeah.
that makes it better, but I'm just saying it was his own sister. The
Right.
way she said Michael, it had that type of
Michael.
vibe. It had
Hmm.
that type of an older sister that loves her little brother, and sometimes he
Yeah.
kind of annoys her, but there's still love in that, and that's what
Yeah,
was
man.
so what made him do that. So in that sense,
Yeah.
Halloween is scarier or more off-putting. So
Yes.
that's where I'll leave that.
It's so true. It's so true. You're right. I mean, you're 100% right on both of these assessments, man.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to say, if you're going to hold me down and make me choose one or the other, I'm going to say I have to go with Halloween 78. But I will say this, that both of these are amazing. And it's 1A and 1B, frankly.
Yeah.
Uh, but the idea of a 6-year-old boy killing a sibling unprovoked,
Yes.
premeditated, uh, at least by that. I don't know how long it was premeditated, but at least by 15 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's frightening as all get out. Like you go, like there are sharks in the ocean. When you go in the ocean, man, you get in the water, you are in their world now. You've
Yes.
left you've left yours. You're in their
Yep.
universe in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So you know there's calculated risks involved. But when you have a 6-year-old sibling, there's no calculated risk for that person to bring a butcher knife in your room and kill you.
That's right.
It's not in our normal way of expectations and thinking. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's much more horrifying of a
Agreed.
situation. Neither one of them are good, are fun, and they're going to be they're going to stink no matter what happens. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got to go with H78. But great question.
Yes.
All right, Anthony, let's see here. Should we fire up Bobo 4? Or you want to?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Here you
Yes.
go. Bobo 4. Crank it up.
I'll make your bubs bounce. I'll make your bubs bounce. Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, I will
That
never
still
forget.
gets me.
I know. I think the first
Oh.
time you saw that, I will never forget. You were dying. You're like, wait a minute. Can you play that again? You're like, what is he doing with his tongue?
Oh
Oh,
man, you know what was funny too, and I know you don't have it anymore, but that sit on you thing with him, that was
dude.
hilarious, dude. Especially
Yes.
the toilet scene. It's like,
Yes.
what is he doing,
He's
man? And the guy just looked at him like it was normal. It's
This is what I
like,
do. This is what I do. This is what I do. I
I
sit on
sit
you.
on you.
Sit is what I do.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
what is? Yeah. Oh, dude. I
Oh,
was so disappointed. An
mm,
hour after the stream ends, copyright claim comes in on and demonetizes the whole stream. I'm like, are you serious, man?
ridiculous.
Ridiculous. It is. And I've never got, knock on wood, I've never got heard anything about the Bobos.
Yes.
And it's the same show. It's the same
Right.
people.
Yep.
But and Anthony's on fire. Look at this, man. Anthony is bringing the heat with another $2 super chat. Thank you, man. Oh, here we go. Okay, rankings time. My Bloody Valentine 81, the original. The Fog, I'm guessing that's the Carpenter Fog. And the
Hmm.
Changeling with George C. Scott.
Ooh, yeah.
Rank
George C. Man.
these. Oh, man.
Wow. Well, hmm. Well, if we're talking about complexity of the movies, you know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about the whole thing. I'm going to
Yeah.
put My Bloody Valentine in third place, and I love it. I do think it's a very good slasher movie. It's a classic.
It
But I
is.
just think overall, I think there was more panache with the fog and also with the changeling. I mean, George C. Scott alone puts the changeling above most every other horror movie there is. He's
Yeah.
just fantastic. I absolutely love George C. Scott. So then the question is, well, which one is better between the fog and the changeling? I think the fog is scarier, or well, actually, shit. I mean, sorry.
That's
The
okay.
changeling is pretty creepy, man. When I was a
Yeah, it
kid and I
is.
saw the changeling, it scared me. It really did.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Again, this is a coin toss.
Well, can I give
Um,
you one thing before you make your announcement? I,
sure.
I don't think it's going to really matter, but I thought just I like to say it for fun. The Changeling is Nev Campbell's favorite scary movie. It's the scariest. She
That's
thinks it's
right.
her scariest movie she's ever seen.
Yeah.
So just
Yep.
had to throw that in
Yep.
there. Not that it's going to matter, but
I will say the changeling is it's got, I want to use the right word here because I absolutely love the fog, but I think the changeling has some more layers to it as far as him trying to find out the mystery of what's going
mm-hmm,
on in this house. Whereas
mm-hmm,
the fog is a little bit more straightforward.
it
So if I'm
is.
in the mood for something that I have to kind of, cue into more with my brain, I'm going to pick the changeling. But the fog, probably rewatchability is higher because it is more straightforward. And you could just turn it on. Matter of fact, I've done that many times over the years. I'll just put the fog on, and I just love the atmosphere, the dialogue, the music, and I can hear it. And sometimes I don't even have to watch the whole thing. I'm just a part
Yeah.
of it. So that's I've,
Ooh.
I've been giving some weird answers tonight, but that's how I look at it.
I mean, it does make sense. I
Mm,
mean, to me, totally. And
hmm.
you're right. The Changeling is definitely the most layered, the most
Yes.
complex, perhaps if you want to use that word. That might work too. But
Hmm.
the others are very straightforward. You got a slasher
Yes.
who done it basically, and Bloody Valentine, and you got this mysterious fog. You're up against something wicked with the fog. The whole story's
Yes.
it's kind of straightforward, like you said.
Hmm.
However, if I'm going to rank these just in terms of my own, without thinking too hard about an analysis
Hmm.
or analytics of the movie, like breaking it down,
Yeah.
just like if you were to come over and we're going to grab a pizza, we're going to watch these three movies, and you're like, Craven, what order would you want to see them in? We're going to watch all
Hmm.
three.
Yes.
I would probably say let's watch Bloody Valentine 81, and then let's watch the Fog. It's just as it's written, and then we'll watch the Changeling. Not because I don't like any, like I like all three of them, but they're all very different movies,
Yes.
like really
Yeah.
very different from each other. So that's my thought. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, I would
Yes.
do it. I would rank them in the order they're written.
Yeah.
But I understand ranking them differently because it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like the
Hmm.
analytical side of me says Changeling should be more because it's definitely the deeper movie.
Right. Yep.
So I get it. I get it. I get it both ways.
Yeah.
But speaking of getting it, oh, Anthony, another clip, man. Let's do here. Let's see. Do we want to do something new, or are you in the mood for anything, Night, or is it? You want me to
You have
surprise you?
something. You have something that a new one or
No, I
newer?
think
You mean?
newer one. Yeah, I feel like some of the newer ones this month. I think you've
What
seen them
about
all.
what about? Do you still have the Rick Moranis?
I think I kept that one for you. I
Okay.
think I
Well,
did.
how about that and the Pink Panther?
Oh yes, yes. Okay, I love it. All right, so we'll start with Rick Moranis, and then we'll do the Pink Panther. Here we go.
All right.
All right, crank it up, folks. Here we go.
When the eloquence escapes me, that logic ties me up and takes me. That's true.
I love that. And what was the other clip, Night? You said I blanked out.
The Pink Panther.
Oh, that's right. Oh, let me find the Pink Panther. Where are you at? You notice how they hide from you when you're trying to look for them.
Isn't that the
Oh,
truth?
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, this is great. Here we go. One of my favorite clips of the second one, which would be help me out, Night.
The Revenge.
Revenge, whatever Halloween 5 was. The Revenge.
Yes.
Revenge of the
Yes.
Pink Panther. Here we go. Crank it up. Watch your step, guys.
Ooh, I love that.
I
That's
do too.
great.
It just never gets old for me, man. I could like watch that movie so many times. Oh, it's so good. Okay. And real quick, Beard Guys here says, "Hello, brother. Love from India. Wow, that's
Hey.
awesome. Hey, Beard Guy, welcome. Thanks for being here on the live stream.
Yes.
I wonder what time of the day is it in India? I would love to know if you're still here. That'd be great to find out. I always like finding out that little stuff like that, you know? It's neat.
Right? I know. It's pretty interesting stuff.
It really is, man. Uh, and look here, Anthony is just he's on fire tonight, man. Anthony bringing in another $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man.
Woohoo. All
A
right.
better who done it. Oh boy, possibly all time. The Thing or Scream. I mean,
This one is actually easier than he may think for me.
I think you guys probably know where I stand on this topic, but
Right?
Knight, I'm dying to hear your answer. I think there is only one, and not to put any pressure. I think there's one real answer here. We have to. It has to be. But
I
you know
like how
what?
you put that.
All right, like no pressure.
No, but no, I think
What do you
it's
think?
Scream. No, I think it's
Yeah.
Scream
Yes.
because of the complexity of everything that's going on in the movie, right?
Hmm.
In other words, the world is bigger. The possibilities are bigger. You know what I'm saying? When you first watch,
Yeah, it is.
now we happens. But when you first watch it, the possibilities are just woo-hoo, and you got all these characters and all these red herrings. Whereas with the Thing, you've got that core group of eight dudes
Hmm.
or whatever it was,
Yeah.
7, 8, or 9 dudes, whatever it is, and it can only be one of them because they're in Antarctica. There's no one else for 1,000,000 miles, so it can only be
Hmm.
one of them. Now that plays out beautifully because it's kind of like,
Yeah.
a bottleneck type of movie. And I absolutely
Hmm.
love The Thing. The Thing is one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
with Scream, you get more lane to travel in, you know, and you get more opportunity to say, I think it's that person. Nope, it's not. I think it's that person. Nope, it's not. With The Thing, you've only got a handful of people. And granted,
Hmm.
the fun of The Thing isn't necessarily who done it, but when done it.
Hmm.
Was someone taken over by the thing,
That's right.
and when did they do whatever? You get what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
crap, man, that would make a good video. They just just thinking
It
about
would.
that. But but yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Scream. I'm going with Scream.
Yes, same here. I have to do the same, and I love the thing as well. I think I've called it a
Yes,
masterpiece film. I think it's,
yes,
I think Carpenter has, and I'm trying to think of all of his catalog, but in my mind, there's two masterpiece movies I can easily quickly call off for him. It's Halloween
yes,
'78, and it's The Thing. In my mind, those are
yeah,
two. Like
absolutely.
Craven, I think Craven has three masterpiece level films that are pretty undisputable. And then you might can make cases for others. You could probably make an argument for them. But like for Craven, it's Nightmare 1, it's Scream, and it's Last House on the Left. To me, those are on a shelf alone up there. They are.
Yep.
They're masterpiece films. The Thing is one of those, but Scream
Hmm.
is too. And
Yes.
like I just said, I mean, these are both masterpieces. So, but as far as a who done it goes, yeah, Scream. There is more possibilities. There are more options in play with Scream. And you said it. You said it perfectly. Honestly, you said it very well. And come on, man, just that movie's tone is totally different. Like they're completely different vibes,
Yep.
obviously. And the thing that makes Scream such a good whodunit is not only is it a mystery, but it's all of the other components to Night. It's the self awareness and
Yep.
the meta ness of that movie. Just as kind of I won't say unprecedented because not because West did it on New Nightmare, but but still it was, you just didn't see it done that well, if you ask me. That was
Yeah.
just perfectly done. So anyway, you guys know how I feel about Scream. It's my number one. It's my favorite film of all time. So I mean, I won't go on and on about it because it's pretty obvious where I stand. But that's a great question, and the thing is a great it's a great who done it because you are trying to
Yeah.
figure it out. You
Yep.
know, and the when they did it, that's legit as well, like you
Yes.
said. But I remember when I watched that, it's the who too for me. Like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, so they got the guy tied up to the couch, right? And he's like,
Right.
gentlemen, I know you've been under a lot of pressure, but
Yes.
I would appreciate it if you would find the time uh, that I would not have to spend the rest of this winter
Tied
tied
to
to
this
this effing couch. And like you
couch.
said, I just died laughing when that's, I'm like, oh my gosh. He starts off
Yes.
so calm. I know
Yes.
you're
I
under a
love it.
lot of pressure.
It
Anyway,
was great.
it was great, man. Thank you, Anthony, so much, man, for your super chat. And speaking of super chats, hanging in another $2 super chat. Man, thank you so much, buddy. Wow. You're literally keeping this stream on. I'm telling you, you're keeping the stream alive, Anthony, single-handedly keeping us going here. So here's a question, Knight. Let's see what we got. More iconic, David from the Lost Boys or McReady, The Thing?
Oof, man, that's another tough one. I mean, both characters are great. I mean, and I love the Lost Boys, uh, but I
I
love the
mean,
thing.
Kiefer
I love,
Sutherland, right?
yeah, but I
Yeah.
love the thing more though. So I'm going with Kurt Russell. One of my favorite actors of all time is McCready, R.J. McCready. I'm going.
McCready. I mean, I said
I'm
McCready. I wasn't
I'm
even thinking.
I'm I'm
Sorry.
I'm I'm going with Kurt Russell on that.
See, I'm a big time Kiefer Sutherland fan. Like,
Yes, me
I
too.
really am. And I know he's done so, like I love his TV work, like 24, Jack Bauer.
Yes, yes.
Whoa, that guy. I mean, he was it's such a great character, and
Hmm.
that's a whole show night. You and I have never talked offline or online about that. But did you like 24? Did you watch that the
Yeah,
series?
I didn't watch the whole series though. That's on my watch
Okay,
list too. Um,
okay,
but
all right.
I did enjoy it. It was and it was so cool how it was done, how it was, the whole
Yeah,
idea of the hours and so forth in the
24
season.
hours. That's
So,
right.
but yeah, he was great in it though.
Oh yeah,
Jack.
just wow. I know
Hmm.
Jack, and he would cross that line. He would
Yep.
he would cross it, man. I never will forget. There was one episode where they've got this guy in the conference room, and he's sitting there, and he's like, "I've got immunity. I've got immunity." He's like, if you don't tell us whatever, they're gonna be all these people are gonna die, or whatever.
Hmm.
And he tells his boss, he says, "Look, you want me to get this information or not?" He says, "Yeah, do what you got to do." And then the guy said, like, "I have immunity. I'm in your office." And he looks over at the guy, and Jack Bauer says, "Give me a hacksaw." Oh my dude, he's gonna start cutting this man open in the conference room. Anyway, just a great character.
Yes.
But I have to say, as iconic as he was in The Lost Boys, McReady and the Thing, man. I mean, Kurt Russell, that guy is he's. I mean, they're equally amazing actors. Like
Yes.
they could hold it
Absolutely.
down. So
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to side with you, man. I think you and I are together on this. Sorry, Kiefer. I love you, man. I love you,
That's
buddy.
right. That's
But
right.
I'm gonna have to go with Kirk. Yeah. Um. Let's see here. Let's find. Oops. Let's find a clip here. Night. Anything else come to mind, man? Is there something on like burning you'd like to see for Anthony's next clip?
Mm, what about the the guy that's playing the piano and the big smile guy? I like that one
Mr.
too.
Smiles.
Yes.
You got it. Here we go, guys. We're all here late at night. It's almost 2 a.m. Eastern. We're 1 a.m. Central. And we're having fun and we're smiling. So let's crank up the smiles and the music. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's like when he goes into the extra level of smile, like yeah.
Yeah. It's all of a sudden comes alive. Da-da-da-da, like, and
Yes.
he's big old smile. Like, oh,
Oh man.
man,
Mm-mm-mm.
that's awesome. Thank you, Anthony, so much for your support. I do appreciate it, man. Scott, Scott says, I would put Christine in that grave. Yeah, Christine's another.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
you
good
could make
one.
a case it's a masterpiece. You could make a case. I mean,
Yes.
I wouldn't shoot you down for that. No.
Yep, I agree.
Danny says, are you guys going to do a watch party to Scream 4? Yes. It's been on my radar for a year. Knight, do you know I've had this channel for 1 year. I've not done a watch party for Scream 4, which is my second favorite film in the
Mm-hmm.
franchise. And I have not done a watch party for Scream 2. I've only done it for
Mm,
Scream 1, 3, and 5. That's it.
that's right.
2 and
Yeah,
4
man.
are getting
Gotta
neglected.
do it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. You gotta have Jake on for two.
Got to have Jake on for 2.
Got
No, I
to.
don't. Dude, man. Because when that third act hits, he's going to poo poo all
I
over
just I just
Debbie
want to see
Salt.
his face. Like all of a sudden, his whole facial features will start
Yeah.
going.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Because like the first three
Oh
quarters, he'll be
man,
loving the movie. He'll be like, oh,
that's right.
this is great. And
That's
then all of a
right.
sudden it's gonna be like, all right, guys, this is where I check out. I'll see y'all later. Y'all enjoy
That's
the rest of the
right.
movie.
Oh man.
Blackest Eye says it's 6:50 a.m. for me. Woo!
Holy
Wow,
moly.
pulling an all-nighter. Wow, it's awesome. Anthony says, "Great stream, fellas, and always dig the input from you. Yeah, much, man.
Thanks,
Listen,
Anthony.
listen. Knight and I appreciate you, man, and
Yeah.
your great question. Your not your, what do you call them? Those rankings and
Yes.
all that stuff. These head-to-heads are
Hmm.
they're always they make you think. They really make
They
us think
do.
hard, man.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's awesome. Really appreciate it. I think that's all the super chats we're caught up on. Scott says I'll go for Scream 2. Yeah, Scream 2. Scream 2 is very
Okay.
good. It's my third favorite. It's a night. Tell me something, man. I don't know the last time
Hmm.
I asked you this question, but what are your
Hmm.
Scream rankings? I just did a video this week on my rankings for Scream. I finally, after a
Yeah.
year, put it out. What are your
You'd been
rankings,
talking
man?
about doing that for a long time.
Ages, right? I know.
Yes.
I'm like a
Yes.
year later. It's up on the channel
Yeah.
finally. But what
Well,
do you think, man?
I think I'd probably do one, four,
Okay.
and this is where it gets a little dicey. Two,
Hmm.
3, 5.
Do you know something, dude?
What's that?
Our rankings are identical.
There you go.
I'm serious. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, what? We matched every single one. That's my ranking.
Nice.
1, 4, 2, 3, 5. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
That's awesome, bro.
and with 5, and I think I said this. I think I was talking about it on the collective ones. But with 5, I just one I've got to get more connected to. Time will help. I've got to
Yeah.
absorb it more. But one thing's for
Hmm.
certain, the thing that the other movies have over 5, like from the jump, is the OG3, you know?
So
And for
true.
me, I'm so connected to them as part of my enjoyment of the movies.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
just hard for me to put 5 above the other
Yeah.
ones. Now who knows? Maybe one day down the line, maybe it'll move up a position, but
It
I don't
could, but
I don't necessarily see that happening.
I
But
know.
yeah,
I know, man. And now we've got Scream 6 coming, and we don't have Nev or Dewey.
that's right.
It's like
That's
there's
right.
no. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. I can't foresee any scenario that I can think of that
Hmm.
6 could ever jump one of the original 4s, because that means I would have to love that movie so much, and it
Right.
would have to be so amazing night that I
That's
could
right.
watch it over watching Dewey and Nev.
That's right.
That's I just
That's a
don't
tall
see that.
order.
It's a
That's
very
right.
tall order. Yeah. It
That's
almost
right.
seems to me, for me, just that these original 4 are almost like concrete stone. And then it's just a matter of how do I rank all future
Right.
Scream movies.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't, like I say, that's how I feel now. And you're right, that could change over time. But this movie would have to be so amazing that
Yes.
I'm stunned by it for it to surpass the first 4.
Right. Yep. It's true.
Now, maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. But I mean,
That's
Stu
right.
Macher, the one that if they bring Stu back and they do it right, that's the only one I can think of that has a chance to
Hmm.
perhaps leapfrog maybe Scream 3,
Right.
possibly, or 2. But I almost think that would be my first one after the first 4. That would, whatever movie that is.
Yep.
So it would be
I
like,
agree.
1, 4, 2, 3, 7, 6, 5, or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah, it's just I just can't imagine. I think Stu is the only one that might push it over a little bit, but
Yep.
I don't. It's still, yeah, I just don't. I haven't either, man. Anthony says Scream 2 25th anniversary 4K out on the 4th. Yes, that's right. And it's coming to theaters in October
Mm-hmm.
for
That's
3
right.
days. Fathom event. Their Scream 2's back. His ranking is 1, 2, 3. Hey, go 3.
Wow.
5 and 4. Interesting. Okay.
Ooh.
Dig
Wow.
your ranks though. That's face. Same here, Anthony. I
Cool.
love the diversity night of ranking
Yes.
movies. I
I
think it's
mean, it
great.
shows the strength of the franchise
Yeah, it really
to
does.
me.
I
Yeah.
think so because all of us identify in different ways
Hmm.
with these movies. I already commented on the ratings, but I ranked them as okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay,
Cool.
2 and 3 could swap. Parker Posey kills it. Yes, she
She
does.
does. She does,
She's
man. Oh my God. I absolutely loved her in 3.
it makes me like want to watch it right now.
Right?
Just it makes me smile. Like this is so
It
good.
does.
Mr. Z's coming in with 2 as his first choice. Wow, 2.
Ooh.
Wow,
Wow.
2-1-5-4-3. Okay.
Interesting.
Blackest Eyes coming in with 1-4. Okay, we match there. Now we
Hmm.
switch up 5-2. Ah, okay. And let's see. Scott says 2, number 1. Wow, and then 3's number 2.
Wow.
Rock on, man. Okay, 2-3-1-5-4. Nice. Love it. Hey, Jonathan, welcome back. We really are getting ready to shut down now. We said that an hour ago, but we're almost there. Just going through. Anthony says something here that I agree with. Knight so that Scream 3 might. I don't know if it's the most for me, but I think it's
Yeah.
one of the most. Is how for me I would say it. Rewatchable.
Yeah,
What
it
do you
is
think?
very rewatchable. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it,
It
especially with
does.
Parker Posey and
Hmm.
what she brings to it. Her whole, you know, chemistry that she had with Courtney and those characters and the fun moments. I mean, those are just gold. You
Yeah.
know, they were absolute
Yes.
gold. And then, of course, you got the red herrings, and you
Hmm.
know, it's fun. It really is a
Yeah.
fun movie. It's very rewatchable right from the beginning with Cotton, and it's like,
Hmm.
what? Oh no,
I
So I
know.
can agree. I can agree with that.
Me too. Love it. Jonathan's rankings is 1-3-4-2-5. Nice. I love to see 3 getting some love.
Yes, absolutely.
It's great. Danny says his favorite scene in 2 is when it's Haley. Sydney and Haley had to climb
Yes,
over the ghost face. Oh yeah, man.
yeah, that was a
Yeah,
good scene.
that was a good scene. Yeah, Haley was supposed to be one of the killers. The original killers were Haley and Derek, her boyfriend,
Derek.
and Debbie Salt was still the mastermind, but it was Haley and Derek. And I'm actually, it's crazy to say this. I'm actually glad that they did have to change it because
Yes,
it wasn't the boyfriend again, and
that's
I'm
right.
I'm glad about it.
Me too.
Here we go. 1-4, we match there. 5, 2, and 3. Okay, all right. I love it. I think it's so cool because all of us love these movies, and but we all love certain ones. There's not a bad movie. They're all
Right.
good movies. Even 5, I always say it's a good movie. It's
Hmm.
just my least favorite of the good
Right.
movies. That's all.
Yep. I agree.
Nice. All right. Well, guys, listen, I think we're going to call it a night now. It is 1 Central, 2 a.m. Eastern, and I want you guys to please subscribe to the Night Watch Zone if you have not yet done so. A link to his channel is in the description right now of this live stream. And I'm also going to ask if you have not smashed the thumbs up button on the stream. There's currently 63 thumbs up. Have out of the 35 people here, probably some of you have not yet hit it, and I would greatly appreciate it because it will help this go into replay mode and get more views and more people can enjoy the conversation that we've had tonight with all of you. And I would greatly appreciate that. And definitely, though, subscribe to Night Watch Zone. because we are on each other's channels all the time. And even
Yes.
when I'm not there, his content. I mean, regardless of me, his content is fantastic. And I'm telling you, man, when I saw you doing the Valentine on Monday,
Yes.
bro, man, that's one of my. I got texted you or mentioned to you. That's my second favorite, um, Who Done It movie out in the post Scream era. It was my
Yes.
favorite, second favorite. And I've been wanting to see it again. I'm like, man, maybe I should watch it again. Well, I should just do a watch party. See, that's the other thing too.
Hmm.
And I think you relate to this because I'm like, if I'm going to watch a slasher movie, I should just do a watch party for it instead of
Right.
just watching it on my own. Do you ever
Exactly.
feel that way too, man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like I could watch it on my own, but I could also stream it and we could just talk about it. And
That's right.
anyway, yeah. Oh, Coriander says, Steve, you need to join us on Monday night. Oh,
There
well, if
you
that's
go.
an invitation for real, then I can just make that happen. I'll just make that happen if you're sure. I want to crash your guys' party.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if that's all right, sure. Thank you,
Yes.
Coriander and Knight.
Yes.
I count me in. I'll make arrangements over here. Normally, it's kind of hard for me to do that on a regular basis, but I'll just make arrangements for Monday night.
Yes.
Oh, it sure is an invitation. Oh, thank you, Coriander. Well, I accept your invitation. I will accept that. That's awesome.
There you go.
Thank
Nice.
you. So Monday night we're gonna do Valentine. I'm gonna watch it. It would be really fun, as if we have time. It would be to squeeze a watch party in, and then we talk about it on Monday. But
Right. Right. Right.
anyway, that may not happen, but I'll watch it for sure.
Yes.
Thanks, Coriander. I appreciate it. That's so cool. And real quick, Boris is in the house. I'm here only 3 hours late. That's right, 3 hours late. But you're here. You made it. Just the tail end. But everyone in the live chat, I want to say thank you to all the new members tonight. I have 3 new channel members tonight. Guys, you're amazing. Thank you so much. It really blows my mind. I'm so humbled. I will have your names added to my list of membership on my videos so that my next video, which should be, fingers crossed, tomorrow with my breakdown of the trailer, your name will be there on there to get your recognition. And I appreciate you very much. And for everyone else in the chat, Night, I'll see you in just a second backstage. But
Okay.
thank you for joining. This was a lot of fun, man.
And it's always a fun time. It really is. This was fun.
Yes, appreciate you. And good night to you too, Coriander. Thank you so much.
Hey.
And look at here, coming in just before we're signing off, Fate
Oh
decided.
man, what's
What's
going
up?
on?
What you
Fate.
doing out there, man? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Scott's still here, and I know that Scott's new to the channel. Scott, if you're not aware, let me just tell you really quickly, and for everyone else too. Knight and I are both part of a very special channel called the Lethal Collective. And the Lethal Collective consists of Knight, myself, Fate Decided, who's right here on the screen, and another guy who is a cool dude named Killjoy
Yeah, he is.
Jake. Really cool dude. And the 4 of us have a separate channel called the Lethal Collective. And I'm going to put a link to it right now. And we have 2 streams every single week on Mondays and Fridays that we do live streams. We talk horror together, and we just tackle all the news, all of the rumors, theories, all that stuff. I put a link to it right now in the chat. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please go and click that channel right now and hit subscribe. We're at 879 subs. We are
all right.
121. See, I got my
Yep.
math right. 121 away, guys, from our first 1,000 subs. We are that close. So,
Yes, we are.
Knight, tell them how much we would appreciate their subscription tonight.
We would appreciate it so much. Seriously, it
Yes.
really would help us because we're scratching and we're
Oh,
clawing and
yes.
man, we're almost there. And everyone that's been supportive of us, we really appreciate it. And for you guys that are newer to our channels individually, you'll definitely love the Lethal Collective. We would love to have you guys join us there.
Said yes. Thank you guys for doing that. It would be a great. Um, Jonathan says a great channel, amazing content creators. Thank you, Jonathan. We have a fun time together, and we really do.
Yes.
And we have big plans for that channel, guys. So just wanted to mention that before we headed out. And Fate says yes. Please subscribe. That's right. And we're having an episode on Friday, just a couple of days from now,
Yes.
or actually technically tomorrow because it's technically Thursday. No,
Right.
it's not. No, it's not. It's
No,
Wednesday.
it's
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So I was right. A couple of days away.
Yes.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all so much. I will be back tomorrow morning. That's right. This was an impromptu stream tonight because of the trailer drop. Wasn't really planned. So tomorrow morning at I think 11 a.m. Central, I'm going to set the stream up after we end, and then I'm going to crash so I can get stuff done so I can be here at 11. So in the morning. So anyhow, I'll see you guys all in the morning. I hope you can make it at 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern for a little afternoon or morning chat. Just kick back and relax, and we just chat. It's a little bit not quite as insane and crazy as our night stream. It'll be fun.
There we
And
go.
yeah, so I hope you guys will all be there. But I thank you all so much. Thank you, Night, again. And guys, have a wonderful Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning, so have a great, great
Absolutely.
Wednesday. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Alrighty.